Ladies and gentlemen of the old world, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the tournament. It is go time, and we're going to be getting started here with a sweaty Swiss tourney. Pick three format, so players are going to be picking three factions. So basically, if you're a little bit newer, hey, thank you, Baron, for the raid. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Welcome to the crew. So basically, what's cooking is we have, let's check here. So you're playing in the tournament tonight. What you would do is you would pick the three factions that you're best at. So for example, let's say you pick Greenskins, Nurgle, and Khorne. Okay, those are going to be the three factions that you pick. What happens from there is you meet with your opponent in your rounds, and each of you takes essentially like a banning sequence where you ban until each player basically has one faction left, and then that's what you play with. So pretty straightforward. It's nice. It gives you a little bit of variance. You're not going to be stuck on just one faction. So, that is one of the downsides of the SFT is sometimes you can run into just like a cursed matchup that's very, very difficult and get eliminated. So pick three mitigates that. It's a more competitive format as well. Where's Warcraft 3? Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. So today we're doing Total War, and tomorrow we will be doing a Warcraft 3 stream. Maybe there's a small chance that maybe later tonight, if my hands are feeling up to it, I'll do a stream on Twitch just for Warcraft 3. We could do a little bit of that, but for now, we will see how it goes. Right now, it is the ham of war, the war ham. All right. So firing it up, we should be getting into the first round right now. Casting and checking here with you. All right, perfect. And great. So where are we at? Let's fire it up here, and we're going to be looking over at the brackets. Do we have the brackets for the tournament yet? Yeah, welcome, folks. I know we got some new people here on the channel from yesterday's grubby party, which was quite a bit of fun. What you're seeing now is the game that I primarily cover, which is Total War Warhammer. And yeah, so we give you a little bit of a breakdown real quick. So while we wait for the tournament to start, I'll give you guys a quick breakdown of how this looks normally, right? So we go to Skirmish with AI, and we can load into a Domination game, and we got an army here, and let's give them an auto-gen army here as well. Okay. Yeah, the evil cackling is great. Do you think Skulltaker is being slept on? No, I don't think so. I think Skulltaker is pretty good. He sees a lot of play already. So basically, you load in with two armies. You load in with a primary army, which is based on, you pick it based on what you're playing against. And then you load in with a reserve army. Now, the reserve army is meant to usually address the weaknesses of your starting army, and you can call them in as reinforcements over time. Okay, so that's kind of the basics of that. So what you do in domination mode is there's going to be three objectives. You start with your army back here. So in some ways, it has some similarities to Warcraft 3 in the sense that you have heroes, right? So I have a lord. This character here, he is the leader of my army. And if he dies, it's really bad. It's very similar to Warcraft 3 in that way, where if your lord dies, it has a massive penalty on your army. So you start with your force here. You can see you have your mainline infantry. These guys are, good at getting up onto the front lines and holding objectives and things like that. So those guys can do this. There are three objectives on the map. So you got 1, 2, and 3. Each objective is going to be giving you 1 victory point per second. So as you get into a battle, you can either, win on points by just, holding the objectives, or you can also just crush your opponent's army so badly that they'll usually just leave the game and do things like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And how it works is you start and, put everything in control groups. So again, very similar to Warcraft in that way as well, in that you have control groups. So you're going to be putting units in control groups and toggling between them. And then let's say the battle started, right? So the battle's going to start. And what you do is you move up towards the objective. So you move up towards the objective. You can send your fast units ahead of the rest of your army to go grab objectives as well, which is quite good. And your opponent's going to be moving in to engage you with their army as well. So this is the Ogre Kingdoms, right? So the Ogre Kingdoms are monstrous infantry. There's a lot of nuance to get into in Total War. It's a big knowledge check. But in domination mode, you'll see I start to capture the objective here. So one objective is going to go to us. The AI is going to be fighting us for the other one. And you can call in reinforcements. So as you look in the battle, like what you do is you become a seasoned player and you look at what your opponent brings. So once you have the game knowledge, I'm like, okay, my opponent is bringing this unit. What do I have in my repertoire that's going to be able to counter it? So you look through the reinforcing army you have and you call in reinforcements. Like, okay, my halberd unit right here, I just called in the Khorngors. They're designed to kill big things. My opponent over here, for example, is using a big unit, a unit that has the large classification. So they have this like large picture, whereas infantry have a small picture here when you click on them. So I'm going to send these guys over here to try and wrestle them off this point and get that, right? So that's the idea. That is the idea. So yeah, it's great fun. The objective here on the outside is going to start capturing, and we can engage with our army now. So you just, basically just right-click on them to engage, get your lord going. You can use any unique abilities you have. So again, like Warcraft 3, right? People are often saying that, Total War Warhammer wouldn't apply to Warcraft 3, but there's a hell of a lot of fun things that are going there. You can also look at the fighting up close, and it looks super badass in this game. So you got like the ogres clashing with the freaking Chaos Marauders, and yeah, this game is probably one of the most good-looking RTS games out there. I got my freaking Khorne motorcycle lord battling it out with these guys. It is incredibly cool. Anyways, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be jumping in and doing a pick 3 tournament. So I'm casting today. I'm not playing today. We're just going to be casting games. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the big obstacles to Warhammer becoming a little bit more mainstream. So let's do, okay, so we have our games. We're going to do Tim the Wilder versus B6. All right, lobby code, please. All right, so we're jumping in. Yeah, so they need, not Blizzard. I'm so used to criticizing Blizzard for sucking and like ruining all their games. What Creative Assembly needs to do is only like 2% of the player base of this game plays multiplayer. It's a very niche community, but very active. We have like 6 or 7 tournaments a week. It gets really sweaty. So what they need to do is they need to make it so multiplayer, like you get everything for free in multiplayer. Because like almost it's a very minuscule percentage. So when you're playing multiplayer lobbies, they need to make it so it's I think it's free to play all the factions. Because the price of getting into this game is too high. I think that is my biggest criticism of the game. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I installed Warhammer 3 back in the day, mainly because of my boy Scarbrand. Just seeing him kick everyone around throwing axes. Dude, yes, absolutely. He is super, super fun. He is very, very fun. All right, so the first matchup right now, this is in a Warhammer tournament for anybody who's newer. We basically have the army building phase. So, in traditional RTS, you have your base building phase, right? You're building your farms, you're building your barracks, you're building your barracks with your tech lab on it, you're building your starports, whatever, okay? In this game, you build your army, so you're basically building all of your tech and your endgame army build right away. So you're building your army before the game starts, and we can pan over to the players real quick. So you can look at them as they're building their armies, and we could talk about that. But usually I don't look while they're building because of stream sniping issues in tournaments. But these two here are building their armies. They load into the battle, and then you fight with what you have, basically. You fight over the objectives, and if you've ever played like Company of Heroes 3, Dawn of War 2, those sort of things, that is how you get the bread, right? That's how you get cooking there. So yeah, hopefully that breakdown was helpful for you guys. For anybody who's a little bit newer, I will probably do some sort of a beginner intro on like how to play Domination mode at some point, just maybe a rant about like the game mode and show you guys what competitive looks like. But yeah, today I think I'm going to be framing the commentary a little bit more towards newer players. I know we have a lot of new people here, so yeah, we're gonna do that as well. So in this matchup, we have the Skaven versus the Greenskins on the road to Talabheim. Now the Skaven are subterranean rat people who live underneath civilizations and basically are just super evil, mad scientist shit. They have very advanced technology, but it often backfires on them is the whole thing. They're going to be facing off against the Greenskins, which are just pure unga bunga. They just want to wog, they just want to fight, they just want to get in there. Very, very melee focused, but good archers as well. Honestly, a pretty good combined arms faction as well. Hey, what's going on? We are in the first game of tonight's tournament. Yeah, the unga bunga emoji is very accurate. Yes, the orc. A little bit different than the orcs in Warcraft 3. In Warcraft 3, the orcs are, they have a little bit more honor to them. The orcs in Warhammer are more just like raiders, fighters, just they're more brutal, for sure. They can't really be reasoned with either. It's just pure violence for them. Warhammer usually takes everything up to 11. You guys probably know this from 40K and different things like that. Best cavalry faction of the game. The Greenskins are definitely one of the best cav factions. Yeah, they ride giant pigs, and those pigs just get in there and do work. So it's going to be Greenskins against Skaven. Now, this matchup, they're both armies that present and field big armies. Skaven, however, do have a bit of a disadvantage on the mobile game. A little bit of lag there. Okay, that's strange. I've never had that kind of lag before, but looks like Falling Star is still loading in. Some people do have potato connections, and it takes them a while to load in, so it is what it is. We don't have dedicated servers here, which really sucks. So we have to use peer-to-peer connections, which is a huge, huge bummer. But, you know, you can't have everything, man. Warhammer was originally designed as a single-player game. So over the years, it did have a very casual multiplayer setting in Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2. But eventually, Creative Assembly saw how popular multiplayer was becoming. And they created a custom game mode just for competitive multiplayer. And they now actually balance around multiplayer consistently with regular patches, which are honestly more frequent than most RTS games, which is pretty crazy. Like we get so many freaking balancing patches. It's like when you look at like Age of Empires, even Warcraft. I mean, Warcraft's old, so but yeah, you look at a lot of those. So you have servers, but they're powered by Warpstone and not super reliable. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Man, this player might have disconnected. Did they? No, they finally loaded. Okay, I think this player is playing on like an iMac from 1998. But looks like we're going to get in here. All right. Hey, what's going on, Fa? Welcome to the stream, dude. So now we're going to review the armies. Looking at the massive erect greenskin wog, it is going to have a little bit of artillery. So we have a Doomdiver catapult, which against Skaven is pretty good against like a Doom Wheel, a Ikit Claw, Grey Seers on Bells. Basically, it's just going to be launching goblins at your opponent, which is pretty funny. Now, against the forces of the Greenskins, or Skaven, you don't want to present with elite infantry. Skaven are very, very good at killing good quality troopers. So you basically just want to send your shithouse units, which is your Orc Boy, you know, your Goblins, those sort of things, because they'll trade well enough and even enough with Clan Rats. So the Orc army is absolutely massive. It looks like Tim is coming in with a 17 stack. On the outside, he does have his cavalry. He's got the Boar Boy Biggins, which have moved into the trees, so they're going to be camouflaged in the trees, looking to ambush here. And yeah, pretty good. Anti-large, armor piercing. They want to kill Rat Ogres. They want to kill Doom Players. That is what they're there to kill, with some goblins on the tree line as well. The Lord is going to be one of the more disruptive lords in the game. It is going to be Grom the Paunch. So Grom the Paunch, the Royal Big Chungus himself, he naturally regenerates. For anybody, again, who is newer, he is a goblin who ate a troll, and then he became bloated and gained the ability to regenerate because he ate a troll. There's basically like a troll constantly regenerating inside of him and being digested as well. So yeah, that's Grom the Paunch. So very swarmy army. Now looking at the Skaven legions, Skaven going to be coming in with a big, big brick of rats as well. Skaven are a swarm army. So Clan Rats with Spears is the right option in this matchup for sure, because you're going to be dealing with you know, a lot of Boar Boys, a lot of Squigs, all that kind of good stuff. We got Ogres, we got Slingers, and Slingers in the back. So Slingers are really good. They're just like cheap, crappy units that just throw pebbles at people, and you know, they usually accrue their value for sure. Yeah, peak male physique on him. Skaven did bring one big monster, which against Greenskins can be risky because of the Error Boys, but if they don't bring a lot of archers, the Helpit Abomination potentially going to be able to do some heavy, heavy lifting. So we're going to have to see how this bad boy fights out. All right, boys, the battle is on, and this is an Itza-style map, so we got 3 objectives right down the middle. We have a lot of different maps that it's just, again, much like other RTS games. If you're coming from Warcraft 3, you might have Lost Temple, or well, I don't know the map names anymore. But basically, the maps determine the meta. Like, some maps are good for fast expand, some aren't. Whereas here, some maps are good for rushing builds, some maps are good for defensive builds, all that sort of good stuff as well. True King says, Warhammer models and design is just so cool. It really is. And dude, like I've often said that Total War Warhammer is one of the sleeper best RTS games out there. It's just for the lack of effort from the... I mean, there is good effort, but like more like the higher ups at the company. Like, we've seen RTS games released for Warhammer that are just terrible, like Realms of Ruin, and Dawn of War 3 had some potential, but if they put like effort into dedicated servers, a proper ladder system for this game, it'd be huge. So yes, the Greenskins rush the capture points right out of the gates. Being the faster army, they immediately get all 3 capture points, which is going to be giving him 3 victory tickets per second. So you can see he's getting 3. If he gets 1,500, he wins. Now, what the Skaven are going to do is they're going to roll up and probably contest objective 1 and then slow push their way towards the other ones, trying to outvalue the Greenskins and move up and do their thing. Now, own goal, by the way, that is Tim the Wilder. So he has changed his name. Tim the Wilder no longer goes by Tim the Wilder. He goes by Own Goal, I guess. It might be an April Fool's joke. I'm not sure. But he's one of the best players in the world. He has won major events. He's very good. B6 is a very good tournament player as well, or Falling Star here. But Falling Star, of course, is a Skaven main. They play pretty much exclusively Skaven. So yes, Skaven going to be grabbing the objective. And the way it works in old competitive here is every unit that you see in the Skaven army has its own, not every single unit, but every unit type has its own capture weight. So if there's 2 units fighting on an objective, the capture weight will be determined by unit type and the numbers and the sheer weight of things, right? So there is that indeed. All right, so we do have these Skaven slaves and the clan rat spheres hanging out here. And objective number 2 is going to be contested as well. So you can see that the Skaven are going to be wrestling up and grabbing 2 objectives. So they're going to get some points on the board. Now, they're already down by a couple hundred points, which is pretty standard against a faster army. It's not a huge deal. If you're down like 200-300 points in the early game, it really more so, yeah, games are decided by points, but more often than not, it's going to be coming down to like fighting and royal rumbling and different things like that. So yeah, I don't know what's going on in Tim's name. I don't know why he changed it. But what looks like is going to happen is the Greenskins are looking for an envelop. They're kind of lining up cav to come around the flanks here and try and get into the Skaven, cookie jar back here. Granted, the Skaven don't really have any super good targets to go after. Mainly just rats. Yeah, it's just going to be clan rats, and we do also have some Skaven slaves back here being called in, and it looks like more rats on the way as well. A little bit of lag going down. I think B6 is having lag. They were having some serious issues here today with loading in, so I assume maybe they're having some internet problems. Who knows? Hopefully it'll subside. So on the main line, we do get them lined up and ready to fight. The rats are trying to contest the point. Let me just make sure it's not on my side. No, I'm not dropping any frames. Okay, so it's just these players here that are having some lag. Skaven Duo own objective number 1. Objective number 2 here is going to be owned by the old Greenskins. And we do have some spears getting ready to move up and contest the point. But now's a good time to talk about the capture weight stuff. So basically, infantry units like a Skaven slave, expendable infantry that have meat shield or expendable in their name, they only have 2 capture weight. Clan rats in the secondary, these guys are going to have 5 capture weight. Rat ogres and monstrous infantry have 3. Cavalry have 4. Single entities are going to be rocking 3 capture weight. So the Hellpit Abomination and the Grey Seer on the Bell are going to have 3 capture weight as well. In faction matchups, how often do you see a faction use a unit they wouldn't otherwise use just because they're well against this faction? All the frickin' time. That's extremely common. Like every build is going to be pretty considerably different. Yeah, somebody's having some serious potato internet right now. I don't know who it is, but yeah, it's tricky stuff. So Doomdiver Catapult's going to be coming down, and now the goblins are launching their artillery. So they're literally launching goblins with like papier-mâché wings to nail into the rats here. So these are the Council Guard. These are the most elite unit the Skaven can present. They are armored rats with halberds that are unbreakable. But the Greenskin artillery is zeroing in on them. So Skaven are going to be wrestling the... No, it didn't crash. We're fine. So the Skaven are going to be wrestling the objective here. They do move a couple of their rats up and get that. Again, Tim playing very conservatively, and the Skaven do actually get a double cap here, and we'll give you guys more glorious cinematics of the Doomdiver Catapult shooting into the Council Guard. So they're going to be running away from the artillery. They don't want any of that shit. And there should be a couple more goblins flying through the sky. Yeah, you can see them in the distance. You guys see that right there? Here they come. Oh, yeah. Here they come. So here comes the goblins from downtown. And they do miss and get a little bit of collateral damage on this other unit here. Yep, a couple of them do get absolutely crushed by that firepower. Not terribly substantial, though. Now, this is the Grey Seer. So this is the Lord for the Skaven army. It's basically a rat who's riding on top of this bell right here. He's really good. And he's a spellcaster. The bell gives some nice AoE buffs and control to Skaven. And yeah, it can also work as like a Walmart chariot, like a very budget chariot that can move in and do some work. But yeah, overall, it's a good Lord for the Skaven. So the Greenskins are going to be sounding the Horn of War, it looks like. Tim is a very prodding player. He doesn't really move in aggressively. He typically plays very, very cautiously here. Where the bell rings, yeah. For whom the bell tolls is more like it. So Tim looking like he wants to soften up the Skaven army a little bit before he moves in. And one of the tactical reasons why Tim is able to get away with this. So you might be wondering, why is the Greenskin army not attacking when they have the opponent has the objective advantage? Well, it's because he got such an early advantage on points that he's taking his time to poke his opponent here, right, with his Doomdiver Catapult. And he is going after the Grey Seer, which, is not going to like all these goblins just smashing into the side of it. So yeah, they get in, and they're doing good HP damage. I mean, the Grey Seer has lost a fair amount of damage. So now the Greenskins are moving in the front. Grom the Paunch and the Mobility has engaged. The Pump Wagons have also gotten in. These are chariots. And they're going to be running over a lot of the Skaven infantry, and the Greenskin Brutes have made it in. So Skaven are already running. In the front line, the leadership of the Skaven slaves has broken, and these bad boys are going to be fleeing the scene. Grey Seer are going to be using a Scorch ability, so using the Lure of Ruin, and going to be scorching some of the Orc boys. But that's pretty normal. Skaven front lines tend to, hold up, or tend to be very flimsy. Here we got the Clan Wrath trying to hold the cavalry charges as the Wolf Riders really dive in. And Tim is going for a triple cap right now. So yeah, Flee Scurry, yes. Massive army on the way in. We do have the Plague Monks. Plague Monks are an anti-infantry unit for the Skaven that can actually beat a lot of the Greenskin infantry. So they're going to be able to, hold off the Goblin Tide. But the Wolf Riders are still in the second line, and the Greenskin Army ability is now down. So the Wog is here. A huge battle cry goes down from the Greenskin Army, and every single unit in the Greenskin Army is going to be getting a big stat increase for a period of, like, I think it's 16 seconds. So they're moving through, and you can see the Skaven slaves rallying. So Skaven slaves are like literally underfed, malnourished Skaven that are thrown in the front lines to sacrifice. So it's very, very normal for those guys to get pounded over and run over. But you can see during that aggression, the Greenskins were able to push the Skaven off all the objectives. So now the Rats are going to be fighting desperately to try and get back on the points. Currently, as the value stands, it looks like a 500 value lead for the Greenskins here, as now some Savage Orc Biggins are going to be coming around. And Savage Orc Biggins are going to be very good against the Rat Ogres and some of these other threats here. Should be pretty strong. But looking very, very good for the forces of the Greenskins. They have gotten that triple cap, 652 points. The Skaven, though, are resurgent on the middle. Currently, as it stands, Greenskins do own this, but the Skaven do summon some Storm Vermin, so the Lord of the Skaven was able to summon some of the Elite Troopers. Now, summon units don't count for capture weight here. And we do see the Grey Seer and the Hellpit Abomination rolling and trying to force the Greenskins off the objective. The Hellpit Abomination is a monstrous unit, and these things have a special ability called Terror. So when they're fighting against units that are not immune to psychology, if they get you low enough and beat you up enough, it will force them to run even when they normally wouldn't run. So Terror can be very useful against factions that have bad leadership, for example, and are a little bit flimsy. So Spirit Leech going down on the Grey Seer, that is from the Wizard. The Giant River Troll Hag here is a spellcaster, so using a direct damage spell to leech the Spirit of the Grey Seer in tandem with using the artillery downtown to try and snipe that Lord is very, very good. Now, this is a nice play by the Skaven. They do manage to sneak some Skaven Slave or some Clan Rat Spears in, so the Skaven Rats are able to get on top of the artillery to try and shut it down, but the Greenskins respond very quickly. They pull in their Wolf Riders to try and fight these guys off. So the Wolf Riders normally would lose, but the leadership of the Skaven unit is going to be just a little bit flimsy since there's goblins nearby and they're just massively damaged at this point. Those guys are going to be running. So looking at the objective situation, we do see objective 2 actually flips to the Rats. So they were able to get that back using the Hellpit Abomination as well as the Wolf Rats with Poison here. It's very, very good stuff. Rat Ogres and Doom Players coming in. So Skaven motorcycles have made their way up. And these things are really cool. So these are called Doom Players. These are anti-infantry tools that the Skaven use to run shit over. And they're heavily armored, very tough to kill. The Greenskins would need to use an armor-piercing unit. So you can see the note here of armor-piercing in the tooltip and anti-large. So they're good against large armored targets. Now on the outside, the Skaven attempted to make a play for Objective 3, but it does look like Grom the Paunch and the Boar Boys were able to feast on the souls of the Rats. And the Rats just got run over by the Wild Hogs. So here they come in. Big Hog Legion is going to be there with their fat hogs moving around, causing a lot of trouble. And now, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be moving on to the Skaven backfield. So this objective is pretty safe. Nothing is really threatening this one. Objective 2 is looking pretty good for the Skaven. They do have the Ogres and the Hellpit Abomination here. But remember, like, you can fight all frickin' day, but Tim is massively ahead on points right now. He currently has 986 points to 367 for the Skaven. Nice snipe here. Using the Hellpit Abomination to bully the Hag is a very good call. Because let me explain it to any of you newer players. The Hellpit Abomination has an anti-large bonus versus large profile, and the Hag, if you look at her profile here, is considered a large entity. Therefore, the Hellpit Abomination is going to be getting a slew of benefits and attack bonuses against the Hellpit Abomination. So nice, the Skaven are a little bit resurgent in the middle, but we do see a massive Greenskin Inquisition into the backfield. Goblins going to be tar-pitting a lot of the advancing Skaven army, and the Boar Boys are really cleaning up shop. On the outside, the Skaven are attempting to get this objective back. And they do have it. So they were able to get it with Plague Monks and the Council Guard. And but they're going to need a triple cap. So at this point, the Greenskins are so far ahead on points that in order to win the game, the Skaven are going to have to get all 3 objectives and basically hold those for a period of time, which is not going to be easy. Tim is one of the best players in the world. He has a very mobile army that's hard to uproot. They can, well, not hard to uproot, but hard to outmaneuver. They can present a lot of really cost-effective mobility. And right now, the Boar Boys are really just getting balls deep and running over a lot of these units. So they're having a relatively bad time there. So moving up, we do see more Rats coming out of the backfield. It's going to be Eshin Triads. So these are Ninja Rats. So you guys can see them on the battlefield right now, okay? But the Eshin Triads are actually invisible because they have a tooltip called Stalk. So your opponent can only see them when they get very close to you. So, for example, if your opponent has like artillery sitting back here, you can take them around the outside of the map and ambush the artillery, or you can just move them up in a very normal fashion and have them surprise your opponent on objectives. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff you could do with those bad boys. So the Eshin Triads are going to be on their way, while we do see the Doom Players grinding it out. Now, the Skaven motorcycles are designed to kill infantry. They're going to be pretty terrible against the Bacon Cav. So all of the Boar cavalry with their armor piercing probably going to be able to drag them down, not in this particular fight, but if they were to fight mano a mano. It's still a numbers game at this point. Like the Doom players also had Eshin Triad support, so the Triads were able to get in there with their halberds and get some good poking, some good spanking, and really, really get some serious work done there, as the Hell Pit Abomination and the Triad's going to be moving towards the middle objective. So objective 2 is going to be flipping here. Objective 1 is owned by the Skaven, but the Greenskins look like they brought some reinforcements over, and they do have their Lord here as well as some Bacon Calves. So this objective looks like it's flipping. Tim the Wilder is going to be sitting at 12-26 on points, getting 2 victory tickets per second, although this objective is in flux. Skaven look like they're maybe going to steal the middle objective. They need to keep some clan rats on that point, and going for a third objective as well. Currently, Tim the Wilder is up in value, but Skaven do have some regeneration on their Hell Pit Abomination, so it's hard to gauge the true value here. So the battle is on, and the last of the Skaven elites are being dragged down. The Council Guard, I believe, have been taken to Pound Town on this objective. Yeah, there's only 13 of them left. The Hell Pit Abomination, you see, there's a terror route right now. You're going to see that come in a moment if Grom the Paunch isn't nearby. Oh, he is nearby. So this Greenskin Lord has a special ability called Language of Du Bois, and he gives immune to psychology to your units, which is insanely good. It makes it so your Greenskin units cannot be terror routed, which is the ones near him. So very, very strong ability. Oh, yeah, the Wog is coming in. Just swarms of orcs and goblins making their way in. And I think Tim has a 2,000 value lead against Skaven, which is really starting to be reflected on the battlefield as legions of haggard orc boys make their way in. And they're going to be bullying through these units and probably sealing the deal. So Tim does get objective number 1. Objective 2 belongs to the Skaven, but are they going to be able to hold it? And Skaven did actually steal objective 3 as well. Okay, getting a little bit close actually. Skaven do have some resurgence across the battlefield. Objective 1 belongs to the, or 3 and 2 have gone to the Skaven, so now they're going to rotate over. And Tim is getting 1 victory ticket per second. So he will win this on just 1 objective. His opponent won't be able to catch him with the 2 victory tickets per second. But now it's really going to come down to the question, can B6 and the Skaven get to this final objective and take it before it's too late? That is how that's going to go. And honestly, having the Chad Pit Abomination fighting here is very good if Grom didn't have Language of Du Bois. Given that ITP aura is, here's the aura, so you can see the radius of it. He gives melee defense, leadership, and ITP. It's insanely good, and I think one of the reasons why Grom is so good. Why are the colors flipped? So the objective, yeah, it should correlate. Like green, the green player is Skaven, and that correlates to them, and the red player is Tim the Wilder with this banner here, and you can see that correlates there. So the banners will flip colors based on who controls them, if that hopefully answers your question. Now, Hell Pit Abomination is fighting it out. Skaven are moving up. We do have some reinforcements in the back coming in, so the old Plague Monks have arrived. But this is a very, very good RTS tactic. So if you guys have played Age of Empires, for example, when somebody's rushing you with longbows in Age of Empires, you want to cut off their reinforcements and intercept them before they can get to where they want to be fighting, which is over here, right? So intercepting the infantry before they can get in, the Plague Monks, and we got more Clan Rat Spears coming up. Tim only needs to hold the objective for like just over, so what do we got, about 100 seconds left? So yeah, 1 minute and 40 seconds left is basically the time the Skaven have. Meanwhile, on the other side, we do see the Greenskins going for a little sneaky. We do get these guys coming in. Goblin Wolf Riders are potentially going to seal the objective. So that is one of the advantages of mobility in this game, is that mobile units can bounce between objectives. They might not be as good in a sustained fight, you know, a lot of these like light cav units, but you can seal your opponent's objective. So currently these cav units probably have about like 2 or 3 capture weight considering their damage. And will the Skaven get there in time? They need to get on the objective. The Ogres do arrive. You need to get them on the border of the objective to get the capture weight to count. And I think Skaven will stabilize this just barely. Yeah, these guys are only 2 capture weight. The Clan Rats are a little bit. Okay, so the Skaven do stabilize that objective. They're able to hold it, but there's a lot of Boar Boys coming in, a lot of Goblins. And at that point, the Skaven player is going to withdraw from the game because they lost on this side. So the Skaven were not able to get this objective, and they basically tapped out. GG, well played. So that is a competitive Total War match. That is a look between 2 very good players. You know, one of our better Skaven players in the community, and Tim plays a lot of factions. He's like one of the goats of Warhammer 3. Extremely good. Or Own Goal now. He's going by Own Goal. We got to get him to change his name back. It's confusing, man. Yes. Yeah, so players do select their own banner. So after the game, you can look at the value of these units and see what really did the heavy lifting. Doomdiver Catapult got 900 value on the Skaven Lord, which was very good. The Grey Seer actually got pounded pretty early in the game, it looks like. And for the rest of the Greenskin army, yeah, just the Cav doing very well. You know, 700 value there, 1100 value. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Pumpwagon getting 1300 against Skaven is very good. Doom players were great, 800, 900 value there. They traded pretty well, considering they were on the losing side there. And that is going to be round 1 of the tournament. So now what we do is we have, this is a Swiss style event. So if we look over here, we can show you guys what that looks like too. And we're going to look at the desktop capture here. So this is a Swiss tournament on Total Tavern, which is my esports website for Total War Warhammer 3 competitive. Here's the game matches in round 1. So you can see the players, you report the score. It feeds the data, so we can see like who the strongest factions are, what the win rates are for everybody. And also, if you're like looking to follow the competitive scene, you can see all the tournaments, including new player tournaments on here on the front page. This is the tournament we're doing right now. So this is the one right here, which is good. Yes, yes. Perfect, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and load in here and get ready for the next game. Should be ready in about 10 minutes. So now we just have a little podcast hangout while we shoot the shit. If you guys have any questions about the game, do let me know. Now is a really good time. In between matches, if there's things you guys are curious about or all that good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of jank in this game. Obviously, it was originally designed for single player, but then the developer added a good multiplayer system. Not good, a functional multiplayer system is a better way of putting it. But not having dedicated servers sucks. You know, what we really need for this game is something similar to Warcraft 3 Champions. Like what Warcraft 3 Champions have, dude. Oh, that would, like, if we could get a functional ladder system with like really good elo, maybe I should like talk to those guys. Yeah, maybe I could talk. Is that possible? Could we create our own Warcraft 3 Champions for this game and have like a great system? Dude, that would be sweet. Why are Skaven Haggard? Skaven are just hard to play because all their units are very low leadership, so they're going to be turning and running. Sanchez, I'm curious if you'll let the new players know that Nurgle is the best, most meta faction. Yeah, Nurgle is hard to play, but rewarding and can win for sure. They're like a mid-tier faction, I would say. Yeah, they're a mid-tier faction for sure. So, yeah, now we have a couple minutes for the round. We need to wait for all the Swiss rounds to finish, and we'll be getting going in the next match here in Uno Momento. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. As a long-time Total War campaign player, I really want to try this. Our queue's pretty quick. So here's the biggest problem. Creative Assembly puts zero effort into their quick battle system. It literally is like has a broken leaderboard that doesn't work. You will run into a fair amount of cheesers, but it is functional. The best way to play would be to join our Discord channel and coordinate games from there and play in new player events. I highly recommend that. Joining our Discord is a much better call, but still, you know, queuing up. Here's the thing, queue up and play quick battles. It's totally fine. But I would recommend dodging people who are playing Slaanesh. Just don't play them because they have bugged units that we restrict in our tournaments, but are not restricted on ladders. So yeah. Wait, Tlaxon Soothsayer is here? The OG GOAT? The Warhammer 2 GOAT? No way he's here. We got Soothsayer hanging out? My grad dad. Okay, I'm going to read this just in case you're trying to trick me into saying something, so just give me a second. My granddad went on a crosswalk today. He was in a bad mood all week. A crosswalk, okay. He then covered himself in oil. What is that? Is that just a dad joke? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you for the $5, man, or €5. I can't quite see. My pirate eye. You're on my pirate eye side, and I can't see. What's up, Garland? How you doing? Windblade, what's cracking? Yeah, Domination mode's great though. It's really good. You and Debluche lost a 2v2 win streak to a Slaanesh combo. Yeah. Just don't play against Slaanesh players on ladder. That's my 2 cents. They're gonna cheese you with broken units that are literally like bugged and just not fair to play against. So, but every other faction's fine. Just dodge Slaanesh is my 2 cents. I'm still on guard. It's true. I got to be on guard, man. Oh, you got dry eye? Yeah, no, we're Team Odin here. All right, so a couple games still to finish in the round. We have 3 matches. Martin should be getting his buy round point. I can help Tim out with that. Hey, oh, pounds. Okay. I've been to the UK a couple times, man. I always love it. I usually only go to Horsham, which is where Creative Assembly's offices are. Like back in the day, before COVID. Creative Assembly used to fly us out there for big events. So very similar to like what you've seen in, Age of Empires, where they would fly out casters and have like, Red Bull, Wololo, those type of things. We used to have events like that, but then COVID kind of ruined it. And the person who worked there that was really a big advocate for it left the company. So it was like kind of just fell apart. We still do official events, but they're just cast literally from my room here. It's not quite as exciting, but it's fun. CA going to fix Slanesh units when they drop a DLC in 3 months, and then they're going to introduce like 5 more broken units. You know, that's going to be the game plan. Yeah. So thank you guys all for joining. It's been a fun stream so far. We're just getting this party started, and now we're going to be moving on over to round 2. We got 2 games left to finish in the round as we take a peek over here. Let us see. Yeah, 2 to finish. So if we look at the meta right now, yeah, Beastmen and Slanesh are really strong with 65 and 62% win rate, which is very, very good. Turin WWE casting table, dude. I would love to do commentary for the WWE. I feel like I would be in my natural element there. Yeah, I feel like we'd be in our natural element. Warhammer World is a great visit. Bugman's Pub is great. That sounds like fun. Come to Northern England, home of the Greenskins. We welcome our American ogre brothers. Oh yeah, America is definitely ogre kingdoms. Yeah, we are the ogre kingdoms, I think. 100%. So let's see. Yeah, Bretonia's win rate is inflated because of good players a little bit, but Nurgle, where's Nurgle sitting? Nurgle's sitting at a 46% win rate. Not bad. Tzeentch has been one of the least popular factions. Yeah, they've been struggling. High Elves and Cathay down here, but Cathay's not doing too bad. I mean, I've always said between 40 and 60% is like, you know, decent, but when you're below in like the low 30s, that's when you start to suffer a little bit. Yeah. So here's the win rates. And all right, let's go ahead and switch back over here, get this going, and there we are. We enabled the multiple lord option. Yeah, we have a lot of greases. Dude, if you've ever been, so I have a lot of family on the East Coast, and I have a lot of family also in the, you know, California, but a lot of roots actually in like Texas and the South. I've been to Texas a couple of times, and oh my God, you will see when you go to some of those parts of the world, you will see a lot of Greases out there, a lot of Greases type folk. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. Okay, and let me refresh this and check it out. Okay, outstanding. And we have 1 game still finishing. Okay, so yeah, somebody's having like a knockdown, drag out, back and forth game. So that does delay the rounds a little bit, which is fine. Avoiding Slanesh, please. The broken units are a feature, not a bug. Oh my God, please, Sean. No more. No more. Thank you for the support, though, man. I really appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. All right, and cool. Yeah, welcome. Got a lot of new people joining from all over the realm. Yeah, I mean, Texas barbecue is god tier. You know, it's very good. My grandma is from Texas. She grew up on a cattle ranch out there. So I got some roots out there, and she lives there still. Yeah, it's my family's kind of jarring like that. Like we have, like you'll go to one side of the family, and it's like back when I was like a kid growing up. Like so, we would go to one side of the family. It's New York City, New Jersey, Italian Americans. You know, a lot of them have like very higher education, and it's just like such a culture shock. And then the other side was like, we would be riding in go-karts and motorcycles and just like wild country shit, you know. It's such a fun juxtaposition to have for sure. I challenge Anticity yeah, that would be a great challenge for Anticity, by the way. Would be to have Anticity win a tournament with the frickin' Cathay. But I think he would find a way. Cathay has some really strong tools. I think that Anticity could win. He's also one of the better players in the community. He's very good. He's very, very good. Is it true in Texas you have to donate half your food to the Great Ma? I don't know about that. Okay, so next round. Are we doing it? Smaller tournament tonight. You know, I kind of showed up last minute here, but still some very good players. Okay, so Oishi is playing. We actually have 2 of the strongest players in the world playing here tonight, which is very exciting. We have Tim the Wilder. If we look at the Hall of Fame, let me show you these guys. All right, so we're looking here. Yeah, so in the Hall of Fame, Tim the Wilder was the winner of the 3rd official Creative Assembly Championship. But that's the only major event he's won. But Tim the Wilder also has gotten 2nd place in like half of these events. So Tim has gotten 2nd place in like half these events. So he's just an insane competitor. Oishi if we are looking back at the various seasons, Oishi has not won a season yet or a major event, but Oishi is the #1 ranked player last season, and the finals are going to take place on the 25th of this month. So after we finish the Grubby Invitational on the 18th and 19th, we're going to be having the grand finals, which will be Oishi and all these guys playing it out. Yeah, how is Warcraft 3 going? So it's going really good. The training is going well, Casto. But let me show you guys this real quick. Hold on. So we had T90 drop from the event. So T90 is a creator, okay, from Age of Empires 2. Seemed to be a very nice guy, but he dropped out of the event, right? So then Grubby, I was feeling very confident to win the event, okay? And then Grubby replaces him with this guy named Sing Sing, who's a Dota 2 pro, who literally in their placement matches against 1,500 quality players went 4-4. And he's sitting at 1,500 elo. If he stays at that elo, we are just screwed. I cannot compete with 1,450, 500 players. But he just brought in this guy who's like... Because normally you lose all your placement matches, right? Like you lose your placement matches and then you climb back to your appropriate elo because it puts you against 1,500 people. But yeah, now we have this guy in here who's just like... It's all because he chose Pally Rifle. Okay, so he's playing Pally Rifle, which is going to get nerfed. But yeah, this guy is, I think, the new favorite in the tournament. Like, if he is actually a 1,500 elo player, which he very well could be, we are just going to go in the pits. Yeah, we're screwed if he's here. But yeah, aside from that, we have some good competition. I mean, Tommy is around my skill level. It looks like he's 1,300. Red Panda is extremely good. I think Red Panda is going to climb up to our skill level as well. Lakari is doing great. Lakari's been an absolute beast. And he's climbing too. Like, he's making his way. Like, he doesn't have an RTS background at all. And he's already 1,100 elo and climbing. Viper is still has to climb. He's currently sitting at 1067 elo, but I think Viper will climb up to 1,300 as well. So it's a pretty even field, I do dare say. I think Loco will climb too. Loco's, over 1,000 elo now and winning most of his games. I think it's an extremely even tournament. Yeah. An extremely even tournament. But I think that if Sing Sing sits at 1,500 elo and doesn't drop in their upcoming matches, I think we're screwed. I'll put up the best fight I possibly can. But Pally Rifle is really brutal to play against for Undead. That's my biggest concern. It's going to get really good, though. I'm super excited for that event, man. It's going to be fun. Also very nervous. In Total War, I don't get nervous at all. It's just another Saturday afternoon for me. But freaking Warcraft 3 actually gets my nerves going, Yeah, Tommy's a beast, man. He's playing really well. Any idea why T90 had to drop? Yeah, Grubby did a whole video on it. You can go check that out. If you go to his channel or one of his channels, I don't know which one. He has like several channels. But it seemed like he didn't enjoy the game too much. Tasteless hasn't really started getting reps in yet, but he still has like 2 weeks. Yeah, dude, have you guys ever like gotten really invested in something and then you notice like when you're like laying in bed at night, that's like kind of what you start thinking about? Like you're laying there and thinking about matchups. Like this event has made, normally for me, that's like Total War. I'm like laying around, I'm thinking of builds. I'm like, okay, I got to the finals in a tournament earlier. I lost. How can I come back and fix that problem? Well, I'm having the same thing with Warcraft 3 right now. Like I'm laying there, I'm like, okay, I lost to this build. Why did I lose? I'm just like laying in bed thinking about it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, but Grubby made a video on it. Yeah, it's it's fair though. Like if T90 wasn't enjoying the game, then yeah, I mean, if you're not enjoying it, not having fun, yeah, it's not worth your time, man. Do what makes you happy. Life's too short to suffer, Like he's got to do his thing. I think the Dota experience will help him. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I think Warcraft 3 Warhammer players have a sleeper skill in Warcraft 3 because of our hero management. In Warhammer 3, this competitive game, it's very important to manage your hero character and like micro your single entity and move him out of bad positions and be aware of him at all times. I think that's yeah. I think that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Universal. Absolutely. And plus then he can make space for somebody in the event who like really wants to be there. So it's a good thing, right? Yeah, I think it's a win. Okay. Holy shit. Let's see what she's going on here. Okay, round 2. So now we're going to do, this will be a really sweaty match. All right, we're going to do Maximillionaire versus Attack Speed Enjoyer. Okay. Okay, yo, lobby code, please. Thank you. So we're going to get the lobby code, and we're going to do, who's he playing against? He's playing against Maximilianer. Okay. So we're going to be jumping into the next match right now, so let us get in the lobby. Round 2 is coming up, so thank you guys all for joining, and thank you for your patience. This is the one downside of Warhammer Competitive, is there's a lot of downtime in between games and matches. Not in every format. There are some faster formats, but typically it's, yeah. Business in the front, party in back, yeah. So it's going to be Maximilianer, who's currently probably one of the strongest vampire count players in the community. So if you guys want to see what Undead looks like in this game, you're probably going to see it right here. And I don't know what attack speed's going to play. They're doing their pick and ban process right now. So these two gentlemen are going to be doing their picks and bans and all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, we have a little bit of time, here to go. He mentioned during coaching that he played thousands of hours of Dota. I don't think it's just Dota. When I was watching Sing Sing play, it's clear he's played Warcraft 3 also a lot, or at least has a fair amount of experience in the game. Yeah. Because you don't just go into Warcraft 3 Champions and go 50-50 at 1500 a elo. You don't. That guy has got some Warcraft 3 experience for sure. Bretonnian Mirror, no. Ever play Kill Team? I haven't, no, but I'm interested in it. I would play Kill Team. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Tommy's a beast. He is. Yeah, he could win the event. I mean, I think Human are the strongest faction in Warcraft 3. Beyond that, like the other 3 factions are more or less on par. Night Elf are going to be crazy. We'll obviously start talking about their matchup here once we get going, but Night Elf are very good as well, but they're getting a big buff. Night Elves are getting the frickin' heavy armor on Huntresses. That's a game changer, honestly. The Night Elf players only have a couple days to experiment with that, but like heavy armor is so good. Because only magic damage really wrecks them. And like Undead can't even get magic damage outside of Coil Nova until you get tier 2, tier 3. Yeah. This might legitimately be a Wood Elf Mirror match. Is it let me check with these guys. Okay, I might just go cast a different game. Mirror matches suck. Okay. We're going to do a different game. Now, we're not doing this shit. Especially since they're using the same colored banners, it's going to be impossible to tell. Literally, you have 25 factions in this freaking game. And you end up in this shit. I mean, Okay, so I'm checking with these guys. I think I'm going to cast a different game. Who's Tim the Wilder playing? Tim games are always good. He's playing... Oh, that's actually a really good match. Okay, so lobby code. We're going to cast another Tim game. You might see Greenskins again, but yeah, there's no way I'm casting a Wood Elf Mirror match. Okay, Brett versus Wood Elves. And, okay. Okay, they actually switched the matchup. So they're playing Wood Elves versus Bretonnia. Okay, I'm fine with this. We're going to cast this matchup. Yeah, this is fine. So now we have Wood Elves versus Bretonnia. Okay, the crisis has been averted. No longer will we need to suffer and do a frickin' Wood Elf Mirror match. Attack speed enjoyer on Bretonnia against Wood Elves. Heavy Cav can be good here for sure. Yeah, mirror matches suck. Nobody wants to watch that shit. Hey, Orange Pest, how you doing, man? You playing? You playing today? You know, Orange Pest, you were asking me last night about Tzeentch. I don't know. I do not know how to really play Tzeentch. You were asking me about what matchup? Let me check while we have you here. So you asked me about Tzeentch versus Lizardmen. Dude, I do not have a shred of an idea what to do in that matchup. I do not play Tzeentch. I could theorycraft with you, Orange Pest, but really, yeah, I have no idea. How do you feel about 40k Total War? It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm like 90% confident we're gonna get Total War Warhammer 40k. Wasn't there some like weird ass rumors about Star Wars Total War? Us getting a friggin' Star Wars game. Yeah, I heard there was some eldritch whispers of that, but I don't know if that was the case. Okay, let's get that going. Perfect. We're gonna get 40k, I think. God, I just hope they give us a freaking dedicated servers. That was clickbait nonsense people ran with. Okay, fair play. But then we have some people saying it's legit. So yeah, both leaked. Sweaty men running against each other. I wouldn't complain about Star Wars. If I can play as Palpatine, then I'm happy. If I can just like force lightning people and literally have the ultimate cackling villain, I'm so down for that. I miss Battle for Middle-earth. Oh, Battle for Middle-earth was such a good RTS game. It was so freaking good, dude. Ogre Kingdoms are pretty good for newer players. Yeah, they're very resilient and very tanky and have a ton of healing, so they're very forgiving. Factions with healing in this game are very forgiving. I've also heard Lord of the Rings or Middle-earth Total War. If that happens, dude, I would be fully erect. I would have a boner for like a week if we got friggin' Lord of the Rings Total War. Yeah. Battle for Middle-earth. I'd be down to go back and play that again. Maybe old Pwn Dog and I will try and figure out how to do that. All right, guys, let's get it. Let's have some fun. Dude, Palpatine is a legendary lord. It's time. It is time. The leaks were a site reporting on potentially happening after the big Sega survey where they asked what settings people would be interested in. Marvel and Discworld were also on the list. Interesting. Vampire counts are not easy for beginners. They're not. They play so different than everybody else. All right, guys, let's get it going. Let's have some fun. Thank you all for joining on YouTube and as well over on Twitch. It's pretty fun. We're making a lot of new friends over there, which is great. And yeah, it's been a fun time. So players loading in. We are going to be on the Glade of the Everqueen. So for anybody coming over from Warcraft who has not seen this game before, this is a different style map. You can see a lovely elven statue over here, and we do have a different objective layout. So you notice on the previous map, the objectives were right down the pipe, right? They were down the middle here. So yeah, loading right here. And yeah, so on the previous map, the objectives were right down the middle, more unga bunga. But on this map, each player has a home objective. You have a home objective and a home objective here, and a contested objective on the outside. So it's very, very different than the previous map. So for example, if you're a more defensive faction that wants to use like shooting and artillery, this would be a safer map for you, because when you invest in ranged units and cannons, you're trying to value trade with your opponent and pound their army at the expense of not having as many units to push up and fight on the objectives, right? So on a map where you have a home objective like this, you're going to be safer because you at least won't get triple capped and you have time to value trade, instead of a map where you're out like this and then your opponent just triple caps you and it's really difficult to get up and contest the points, if you see what I'm saying. Hopefully that made some sense. Now, looking at the Elven army of Maximilianaire, he's going to be using Deepwood Scouts with these Swift Shiver Shards. These things are pretty good. They do a lot of damage. They have high missile strength, but the downside of them is they lack armor piercing. So sometimes if they're presented against like heavily armored cav trying to run them down, they can have some problems, but they can still pack a punch. We got Eternal Guard in the back. We do have a Dragon Caster with Prey of Anathraman. So this is a snare ability, so very similar to any number of net abilities you might see in other RTS games and things like that. On the outside, we do have some Horse Archers to get the objectives quickly, and the Wizard for the Wood Elves here is going to be a Branch Race. So Branch Race are Dryad units, and they have some good spells. Melkoth's incredibly good against heavy cav. And yeah, we got 2 units of War Dancers rolling up, and that is going to be it. Now for the Legions of Bretonnia. So Bretonnia is basically an amalgamation of, you have like the English longbow influences and obviously French knight culture. Very, very based on, French history and whatnot. So you got some heavily armored cavalry with shields, and they can run down infantry pretty effectively and also fight enemy cav units. The rest of the army is going to be a massive amounts of filthy peasants. So we got peasants, peasant archers, and men-at-arms, so really low-quality units. But the King of Bretonnia is one of the strongest fighters in the entire game. King Luan Leoncoeur, he can get in and definitely put some hurt down and probably beat the dragon in a straight-up duel because of his healing and ward save and all that goodness. So a bit of a fight here, but this is very risky. Prey of Anathraman could be activated here, snare down Luan, then he gets pounded by 3 archers. Granted, these are Deepwood Scouts. They're not going to be able to kill those units very quickly. So the Bretonians have parked their cav on the objective, but are eating some archer fire. Looks like they took an Arrow of Kernus to the face, so those guys are going to be taking some damage, as the French would say. Arrow of Kernus, nope, actually activated on the Peasant Archers. So Peasant Archers here, I don't think that's really worth it for Maximilianaire. I mean, it did do some decent damage, but not too much. Now, the Deepwood Scouts are going to get in range, and you're ready to see Elven Archers versus unwashed Peasant Archers who've been conscripted. And you're going to see a lot of damage as the Peasants are going to start just getting absolutely wrecked. they're going to have a very, very bad time. Oh my god, one volley just KOs those peasants. They're like, screw this shit, I'm going home. These are literally peasants who they were just handed a bow, and they're just like, trying to figure it out, facing against some of the most elite archers in the setting. So, in the sky, King Lewin going to be activating the Lion Shield. So this is a really good item. It gives him 40% missile resist, which means the archers aren't going to do jack shit against him. And he lands on the ground to actually dodge a lot of those, which is a very good play. So yeah, overall, that was not a great play there for Maximilianaire. King Lewin took almost no damage. On the outside objective, the forces of Bretonnia are able to get it. So as it currently stands, Bretonnia has 2 objectives against the Wood Elves 1. So if this status quo does remain over the course of a long game, we will be seeing a victory here for the forces of Bretonnia. So the pressure is going to be on the Wood Elves to move up and get these points. Archers are trading now, and the Elven Archers make the mistake of getting in range. So the Elven Archers do have 155 range against the Peasants that do have 160. The reason why these Elves have less range is because they have a special type of bow called the the special type of ammo, which is short range. Normally, Elven Archers are like 180 range. Okay, Knights of the Realm penetrating into the backfield. We do see them coming around, maybe going to be able to get onto the archers. What is the response going to be from the hardwood? And yeah, we got a big cav rotate coming around. So check this out. We have the Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, and these Knights of the Realm going to be lancing in, and they will wreck these cav here. So that is a really, really nice play there for Bretonnia. And the Wood Elves lose half their health to the lances of the Bretonian Knights. Now, Knights Errant going to be on their way in. The King of Bretonnia also going to be surging into the backfield. Battle Pilgrims, no, Men-at-Arms making their way up, engaging against these guys. And now the Archer line is in a little bit of danger. But we do see some light cav come out from the Wood Elves, basically a sacrifice. So the Wood Elves are going to be sacrificing a very cheap cav unit. Dragon Breath Attack. So the Dragon using its Breath Attack right here. Able to get a nice one right down the pipe on those Knights Errant right there. Absolutely beautiful. So back objective is being threatened a little bit. The King of Bretonnia is going to be chasing back the 3 archers, so there they go. And yeah, that's a great choice. He regenerates. He's really durable against archers. He's got high armor, and is just an absolute beast. But has he gotten too greedily? Has he delved too greedily and too deeply into the Wood Elf lines? Currently now 3,900. The Dragon's going to be coming in, and the Dragon should really be attacking in melee right now. Lewin is taking it like a champ, but I mean, volume is volume. And if Lewin breaks and runs, that's going to be a disaster. Okay, the King of Bretonnia, he escapes. 2,700 HP. If he breaks and runs here, that's basically GG for Bretonnia. He's going to be trying to escape, and he does stabilize. He has gotten away from the threat, as the Knights of the Lionhearted have been called out. So the elite Bretonian cav have arrived. They have their blazing lances, and they're going to be doing glorious battle with the Wood Elf Light cav in the river here. And that's going to be the end of the Wood Elf Light cavalry. But the archer support is definitely helping a lot. You can see it teeing off here as the King of Bretonnia does escape. Now, outside objective, the Wood Elves were able to get this. They called in the War Dancers, so the War Dancers have arrived, and War Dancers will be very good against the crappy Bretonian infantry. For anybody who's newer, the Bretonians have some of the worst infantry in the game. They're cheap, though, so it's not like a big deal. But yeah, their infantry are not good. And the Wood Elves have very killy infantry that are squishy, but the Bretonian infantry don't have the killing power to really punish them. So the War Dancers will definitely annihilate these archers. Although Bretonian Cab will be your shield. The 2 Bretonian Knights coming from off screen. I don't know where they were, but probably back here somewhere. And they're going to be coming in. Lances couched for the lady. And these War Dancers are not going to be long for this earth. The Barded Knights getting in and just running through the infantry here. Very, very nice stuff indeed. So looking around. On the backside, Glade Lord moving up. Bretonnia holding its back objective. King Lewin quite damaged. And the Wood Elves are going to get quite a bit weaker on the board when we do see the Deepwood Scouts start to run out of ammunition. So you see this little orange bar, not orange, but kind of brownish bar underneath their health bar. That is their ammunition. So when they run out, they basically just have to fight in melee, or you can send them off the battlefield and let them replenish. But yeah, overall, they will lose a lot of combat efficiency. So there is kind of the classic Kung Pao enter the fist tactics. The wimp low, the face to foot style. I mean, if Bretonnia can endure all that shooting, without losing too much ground, there's a chance that they would be resurgent once the Wood Elves run out of their ammunition, right? So a couple mounted yeomen, very cheap Bretonian cav here, and the objective is in the process of maybe flipping here, but the Wild Hunters of Kernus have come out. So we do get the Great Stag Knights, not Great Stag Knights, but Wild Rider ROR. So these guys are pretty killy. Even against infantry, they are an anti-large unit, but they still have a good charge bonus, and they're still Wild Riders. So they're going to be able to run through a lot of these units for sure. Flock of Doom coming out for Bretonnia. So Bretonnia's damsel, its wizard, is going to be using Flock of Doom onto the Wild Hunters, who are now engaging versus the Mounted Yeomen. So the Mounted Yeomen here are going to get wrecked. These are Bretonian light cav. They're just kind of for scouting and chasing down units. not really good at fighting an elite fighter cav like these Wild Riders. So the Wild Riders definitely going to just crush them. And now they're moving about face, and looks like they're going to be heading back towards the objective. Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma added over here to the Knights of the Realm, so that's a nice little damage debuff spell. That's going to be slowing those bad boys down. And on the backside here, we do see the Glade Lord heading back towards the home objective, and some tattered Bretonnian calves, some heroes of the old world, actually come back from near death, and they do get on top of the archers. So the archers here are going to be getting run down. That's going to be a hell of a lot of damage going as they do start to get melted. So Prey of Anathema activated here on the Knights of the Realm. Pure Suffering, yes, that's going to lock them down. But, it does buy some time because they were beelining across to run over the archers. But the net does buy a little bit of time for the Wood Elves. But another Knight of the Realm coming in. Bretonnia looks like they're maybe taking over. The Knights are getting into the backfield. The scattered fighting definitely favoring the mobility of the Bretons as they do move in here. And another archer unit is going to be run down. So lots of damage. That's going to be a nice whooping right there. And that's from King of the Hill. I think so. But Deepwood Scouts absolutely getting flattened. And the King of Bretonnia didn't hear no bell. He pops the Sword of Corone, lowering the combat stats of the Glade Lord. And now is going to be going Mortal Wombat with these guys. Check that out. So he's getting in there. He's doing some work as the Glade Lord is at negative 24 melee defense, negative 30 armor, and the Troll Toll is being paid. All right, guys. The saga continues. The fight is on. King Lewin at 2,000 HP. Is he going to win versus his dragon? It looks like he's going to be playing it safe and running away. Lewin does have passive healing, and the dragon does not. So if Lewin can disengage and heal a couple thousand HP and then get back in there, that's quite good. But the Wood Elves are, excuse me, doing quite well in the field, actually. We do see Objective 1 belonging to the Wood Elves. Objective 2 belongs to the Wood Elves as well, but Bretonnia's got filthy, unwashed peasantry heading over there to grab it. So this is quote-unquote elite infantry for the Bretonnians. These are battle pilgrims, so they're kind of like decent, grindy fighters, high leadership, a little bit squishy, but they at least have shields. So the battle pilgrims will bring 5 capture weight to this objective, and the damsel is going to be heading over there as well. Meanwhile, on the backside, we do see the Wood Elves with some spears trying to steal the home objective of Bretonnia. Probably not going to happen. The 2 archers, if they want to, you guys ready for it? I know you guys want it. So we can get 1 archer here, 1 archer here, and then turn about face and shoot over at them and take them off that objective if you want to. So King Lewin going to be engaging here, moving on to the Branch Wraith, trying to snipe the caster of the Wood Elves, which isn't a bad idea, but the dragon is nearby. Dragon could zip over and do it. We will have to see. And there goes the Branch Wraith. Nope, stabilizing, holding pretty well. And Bretonnia does manage to get this objective. So as it currently stands, Bretonnia would win on just 2 objectives. We have Objective 3 and we do have Objective 2 as well. And Bretonnia, if they get 2 per second, would win before the Wood Elves win on just 1. So for Bretonnia, at this point in the game, your decision making needs to be, am I just going to stand and fight on 2 objectives, or am I going to be aggressive and try and triple captain to really close out the game? I would say value trade, force the Wood Elves to come to you because they're the ones who have to get an objective and just, make them suffer there. Bretonnian archers putting a little bit of hurt down onto the dragon. Branch Wraith is almost dead. King Lewin, the King of Bretonnia, doing it, getting in there, and they're getting it. Negative 7, negative 26 right there. Branch Wraith is broken, so in this game, when a unit's leadership goes below 0, so if you look at the stats here, if that goes below 0, they actually turn and just start running, and they'll stop fighting, and at that point, you can just chase them off the battlefield or kill them for free, basically, depending on what you have chasing them. So Objective 2, though, is in flux. The Dryads and Eternal Guard have arrived. Bretonnia needs to get a little bit more capture weight here. They really don't want to lose this. Battle Pilgrims will fight okay against Dryads. I don't know who wins that fight. Probably the Dryads. And on the outside, Bretonnians calling in more Battle Pilgrims, so more infantry coming in to try and grind on that objective. And the Bretonnians are actually threatening the home objective of the Wood Elves a little bit, using their 2 mobile units. Because currently, as we look on the battlefield, we don't see much in the way of Wood Elf mobility that can contest these heavy knights. The Knights Errant definitely pretty grindy here. As Attack Speed Enjoyer chases down the dragon, looks like we're going to have another titanic duel up in the sky. Although the dragon is on the run, not wanting any piece of that smoke. The dragon turning around to engage against King Lewin. And now I think King Lewin wins this. He's just got a better stat line, although, yeah, he does. King Lewin, I believe, still he's very tired. The dragon is very tired as well. 1,000 HP on the dragon versus 2,100. The Giga Chad King of Bretonnia, the Lord of the French. He's going to be moving in, and he will truly be leading by example, as after taking so many beatings this game, he moves in and defeats the dragon in combat. The dragon is now broken. Lewin's going to be chasing it and attacking it, and there's a chance that the dragon's going to be killed. When your lord dies in Total War Warhammer, your entire army suffers a negative 16 leadership penalty for a period of, I think it's like 30 seconds. And then after that, it stabilizes at negative 10 leadership. So down goes the Wood Elf Lord, the King of Bretonnia. with the crushing kill. Oh, dude, he even stood up on his bird and cheered. Oh, I love that. That was actually a really cool moment. All right, so the King of Bretonnia defeating the Lord of the Wood Elves. And now we have objective number 2 belonging to Bretonnia very firmly. Bretonnia actually threatening the back objective. And this game's basically over at this point. Yeah, it's basically over. I think Bretonnia, with their Lord and the Wood Elves being leaderless, it's really going to be tough for them. I mean, the Wood Elves, you could see, have really good leadership at -16. So you can mouse over this to see the modifier. -16 on the unit because the Lord has died. And Bretonnia, as long as they don't, like, flip and let their objectives get captured, you know, maybe. Although Wood Elves are threatening this objective. They do have the Dryads and some great Stag Knights over here. The Damsel needs to get on the point, and you definitely need to get these Knights on the point as well, as now Knights aren't going to be engaging versus the great Stag Knights, but they do have the support of the King. So the King of Bretonnia is here, and he will be their shield, and he's going to be doing glorious battle versus the great Stag Knights as well as the Dryads and company. And moving on in, we do have the Knights of the Lionhearted. So Knights of the Lionhearted are anti-large specialist fighters. They'll be able to hold their own against Great Stag Knights, which Great Stag Knights are the Wood Elves' most elite cav unit. Heavy armor piercing, a little bit squishy, but that's just the Wood Elves in general, right? They do a hell of a lot of damage. Yeah, they're going to get folded up by the Knights of the Lionhearted as well as King Lewin, a little bit of magic as well, and that's going to be it. Victory for the lady in a very sweaty match. That was a great game. Very well played to those guys. Super fun scrap. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one as much as I did, because that was a hell of a lot of fun. So Glade Lord is at 2,400, and we do also have, yeah, the Glade Lord did okay. Branch Wraith was really a big carry. The Deepwood Scouts were pretty good too. Yeah, great value on the Wood Elf Archers. But eventually when they got rode down, the Wood Elves just couldn't contest the mobility anymore. Knights of the Realm MVPs, 1,200, 900, 1,400 on Lionhearted. Pretty good stuff, man. For the lady. For the lady. All right. GG, well played. That is round 2 of today's tournament. And while we are here and chilling, there's a couple things I want to do. Lion Shield carried, it did. So let's check the brackets. Okay, so we're going to jump on over here and look. Refresh that and see. Okay, so we have, yeah, 3 games finished. And then there's another one, the buy round here. So we just need to wait for this game, and this game to finish. And then we're going to be good. Then we're ready for the next round. Okay, so we had Orange Past, are you still here? I know you wanted me to do a build for Lizardmen versus Tzeentch. So if I was playing Tzeentch against Lizards, holy shit, what would I do? Probably present a front line of Zangor, because they're silver shielded. So I'd probably go maybe, I don't know, Marauders probably. So Marauder, I would go maybe Marauder backed up by double Halberd, and then maybe a little Warrior action, because they trade pretty well in Desaris. And then you have the Halberds to mix in as well, right? You're going to want mass Centaurs of Tzeentch in this matchup as well. Yeah, so you're going to want mass Centaurs of Tzeentch, because they can contest the mobility and also isolate monsters and things like that. Slaughter Brood OP. No, it's not. Slaughter Broods are terrible. They're such trash. Hey, Heimdall, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. We got a new subscriber over there. Thank you so much, and welcome. I appreciate all the support over there, guys. Means a lot. And we got Squigs and Pigs. He's been a member for 9 months. He says, Turin, in 1 more month, the child of unholy subscription will be born. That's right. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being a member. And Heimdall, thank you for subscribing on Twitch as well. Okay, so what's cooking? Against Lizardmen, I think a big element of the matchup would be to try and win the Sky Fight too. So I would go 2 Fury, Screamer, and Changebringer. Because here's the thing, if they go like big dinosaurs or Croxagors, you destroy their Air Force with your Air Force, and then you can get the Changebringers to come in and roast any big dinosaurs you need to deal with, right? I think that's pretty good. I would probably go 2 Marauder Horsemen just for battlefield control. They don't like trade super well, but they're good against like Pterodons, and just having those cav with Tzeentch and that mobility I think is quite good. From here, Forsaken are going to be your best friend, I think. Yeah. Hey, Madros, thanks for subscribing, man. Dude, we got a party going on over here. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that. So Forsaken are going to be your best friend. 2 of those, I think the reinforcements could be cleaned up a little bit. And then maybe 2 Centaurs of Tzeentch is adequate. We're going to get Zangors too. Zangors are quite good in this matchup. Okay, so now we just need to upgrade you. Can we get the ROR? Oh, it's just short. Yeah, feels bad. All right. So next up, Who is the Lord we're going to go with against these guys? Probably not Village. He gets bullied by big dinosaurs. I don't hate the idea of like a Chaos Lord of Tzeentch on a disc, because you could use him to help against big dinos with Colossal Strike. And also he's going to be good at attacking this land and kind of pressuring it, you know? I think that's pretty okay. I might go downscale the warrior here too. So now we need a wizard. So we're going to do a... Fire is actually not bad here. I might go with a Cultist of Tzeentch, get Burning Head, and maybe Piercing Bolts. And Wand of Whimsy is really good. Power Stone is also good. Put him on a horse and keep his abilities, because he can summon some pinks, which is good too. Now, a little bit of Archer Core might be okay. So if we could maybe downscale this and get like the Sour Guts in the back. Okay. Have I played Rogue Trader? I haven't actually, no. I have not played Rogue Trader. He is expensive, but Burning Head is very good. I mean, you could also just cut these abilities and make him cheaper, but maybe just Burning Head. Yeah, Wand of Whimsy is all right, but you're not going to be casting enough spells, so yeah. We could make him a little bit cheaper. I think that's better, maybe like a cheaper version of that, and then we can get a Marauder Spear in the back to hold our back objective. Yeah. This looks decent. I put him on a chariot, the Lord, did I? Ah, so he should be on the disc. Okay, that explains it. Damn. Okay, so I guess we're just getting another Marauder in our opening army. Yeah, so Lord is on disc. Burning Headcaster to roast Saracen Skinks. We have Anti-Monster with our Lord, with our Chaos Warriors, with our Changebringers, and with our Centaurs of Tzeentch. This is probably the direction I would maybe lean towards going, although arguably maybe one less Forsaken and get the Screamer Arawar, because Proxigors and, you know, big monster threat. Although Forsaken are really good. I think maybe a Forsaken pick. Yeah, this Orange Pest, maybe. I don't know this matchup. I'm theory crafting this right now with you, but this would be maybe the general direction I would consider going with this. So hopefully that's helpful for you, boss. Without the... Oh, yeah, Severed Claw. Severed Claw are good, yeah. They're not bad. Yeah, that's true, actually. So how would we get Severed Claw in here? So we would do this and we would do this. Okay, yeah, this might actually be better, yeah. No, this one, Orange Pest, this is better. This is better build. Yeah. So you get Chaos Warrior and Severed Claw. They're really good, that's right. I just totally forgot they existed. But yeah, what I would do initially is I would assess how good their ranged is. The Changebringers, you're only going to call... If they have a Solar Engine and, like, you know, it's a little risky bringing out Changebringers early... But yeah, Changebringers are going to be your late game carry unit, for sure. Tyler you helped, dude. You helped. Your screenshot, that's right. Okay. So let's see how we're looking in the tournament. Are we in the next round yet? 2 games still to finish. So Tim is having a sweat fest versus Navigator. We're going to cast a Navigator game next. Navigator is a really fun player to watch. A Chaos Dwarf main. Yeah. I think the Cultist of Tzeentch is pretty good. I mean... Burning Head is very good against lizards, although arguably Blue Fire, Pink Fire, you could do that, you know, for a little bit better sniping potential. If you, also Orange Pest, if you want to do a cheese variant of this build, you do this. So we get a Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch, and you put him on Lore of Tzeentch. You do Pink Fire and Blue Fire, and you don't need the skull. Yeah, and we're going to put him on probably a disc, so we'll cut these abilities. Yeah, so this is the cheese version of this build, okay? So you still have crowd clearing with Pink Fire, but in this build you have Blue Fire. So Blue Fire plus the Chaos Lord, you could potentially kill a Slan. If they bring a Slan that doesn't have healing, for example, you could Blue Fire spam the Slan from downtown. Yeah. And maybe snipe the... You could also use Blue Fire on if they bring anything elite, like, or you could use it on, like, you know, Ripperdactyls, whatever. Yeah, because that's like... We can test that real quick. So let's do this. Let's go to land battle just for testing purposes. This is a stupid bar staying put. Okay, it is. Okay, so we're going to get a Chaos Lord on disc. Right, and then we're going to get a Blue Firecaster on... oops, wrong one. Yeah, Tzeentch Chaos Lords are pretty good fighters. But, like, don't overestimate them. They definitely will still get smashed up by, like, heavy-duty fighters. Let's go get this land, for example. So we're going to get a Battletoad over here. So where the hell are Lizardmen? I never play them. Okay, here they are. And we're going to do a Slan Mage Priest. We could just do a fire, whatever. And yeah, now we need something on the ground too, so we don't just lose. All right, so we're going to go test that. Lord's on the Chariot again. God damn it. Is he? All right, there we go. Thank you. Fixed. I just love my chariot. I love my Tzeentch chariots. In a lot of the Tzeentch tournaments I've been playing, I've been using the Exalted Heroes on Chariot with Book of Secrets. It's so fun, dude. It's so fun. Stupid freaking cough. Hey, Turin, used to watch all your tournament casts for Total War back in the day. Good to see you on. Yeah, man. Juicy Joe, what's cracking, man? Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, Lore of Tzeentch is very good. So, yeah. We have the two characters here. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit, right? So, if we look at the blue fire on to the Battletoad, you can even bring Skull of Catan if you want to, but it only lasts for like one spell duration. So blue fire, here's the thing about it. You don't want to be close to them when you cast it. If you're too close, the shots usually miss. So you want to be kind of further away like this. Then you blue fire the Battletoad. He takes a lot of damage, right? It's pretty considerable. And then you get your Discmaster in, pop Colossal Strike. And you could see, with good micro, we already have the Battletoad. So they would respond by now, right? You would run away, and then we're going to cast another blue fire on him, right? So that's going to be another blue fire from downtown. You should cast it. Is it bugged? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So he got smashed up. We move back in, pop this shit. And, you know, then you have a, yeah, if you're close, it misses, yeah. So we have a dead Battletoad. So, like, we just took out the enemy Slan, like, within, like, I don't know, a 30-second window, maybe a little bit longer, because we were fast-forwarding. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. So you can take down Battletoads, but it requires really good micro, because they will be defending it, right? And here's the thing, Orange Pest, they might go with this High Mage Slan and use Tempest to punish you in the sky. So if they do that, you know, it's a little dangerous. Again, I don't know the matchup. I don't know what they bring, so I'm just theory crafting. So let me show you what happens if you cast too close, okay? So if you're too close to this guy, you move over here. We're going to get, like, right on him, and watch what happens. So if you cast close, a lot of the shots miss. You see that? Because they take time to zero in. So we did, like, dog shit damage there, right? But if you're downtown, you know, far away here, you're going to be able to butter some bread. Dude, look at this friggin' Battletoad going bananas on us here. He wants a piece. But if you're far away, we're going to overcast this. About this range is fine, probably. Let's see. It's doing like a, what the hell is this? Classic Total War jank. Okay, let's go here. What the hell is this shit? Have you seen this? He did like a 360 no-scope. Pretty much all the missiles hit right there. Yeah, so that's better, right? Okay. Hopefully that was educational for you guys. I do not know what's going on with that shit. A man of culture, thank you for following. And Gilgamesh as well. Spin to win, that's right. He's been playing Garen in League of Legends, which actually was one of my mains. Back in 2013, was it? So back in 2013 when or 14, yeah, 2013, 2014, when I used to play League, you had Diamond League, and then I think there was one league above it. I think there's 2 leagues above Diamond now, right? But I was able to get Diamond League with Garen and with Darius back in the day. The forbidden mouth-breathing Unga Bunga champions. Is the 360 required? I mean, it's certainly a flex on your opponent. Looking at the tourney here. Okay, Navigator and Tim are finishing up the last match in the round, and then we're gonna be casting the next one. Yeah. Now there's 2 leagues above. Back when I played, there was only 1. He was arguing with the 2 wolves inside him. God damn. Do you think there'll be an FFA? Maybe. We'll see how long it goes. Sorry about this damn cough, guys. It's I have that stupid post-viral cough. It's like, it's one of those coughs that lasts like a month after a cold, and it's almost been a month. Another week, and it should be gone, hopefully. Yeah, it's been very troll. The Drunk Master, yeah, dude. Oh, dude, that movie, that's a movie with Jackie Chan, right? The Drunken Master, it's like a kung fu movie. Shit rules, dude. Yeah, there's a lot of weird interactions in Total War, and that's like why if someone like, I think, I would love to have like an event similar to what Grubby is having with like it'd be really weird to see people come in and just like, who've never played this, and just see them trying to like walk through all the weird ass interactions, you know? How does the Book of Secrets work? Is it a chance to get one of the 3 effects, or you get multiple effects? You get one of them. So with Book of Secrets on Tzeentch, it's literally a lottery. You have a 33% chance of getting each ability. Yeah, I'll get Lakari seemed kind of interested. He did, yeah. He's really nice, man. I've been chatting with him, and yeah, he's very friendly. I think we could get Lakari to do that. Like, I think best case scenario, we could do a show match where we get 2 people to compete. Yeah, and then we give them like a week training or something like that. I think, you know, for this game, I don't think people would commit to like 3 weeks of training. We give them like, you know, a week. and we assign like a top player to each of them to train, and then we do a tourney after that. Yeah, there needs to be more cross RTS events. Monkey strong together. That's right. Unga bunga, man. Yeah, I don't know if we could get as many people. You know, we obviously don't have the pull of the Dark Lord Grubby, but we put up a little cash prize, like, you know, a fun cash prize, and had them compete. I think it'd be pretty fun. Turn. Have you seen Sing Sing? Yeah, no, he's gonna beat everybody. Yeah, for sure. He's at like 1500 elo, which is nuts. I think the next highest is 1350, which is like me. But yeah, no, he's gonna crush everybody. I think. I'm still gonna give it my all. I'm gonna go in hard, man. But I think he's the new favorite to win for sure. Yeah, he's clearly played a lot of Warcraft 3 before, so he's got a lot of experience. Oh, I believe in myself. I'm gonna go hard in the paint. Yeah, but I think he's more experienced than the rest of us probably, and is naturally very good too, which is incredibly scary. Okay, and let's refresh this. We're in the next round. All right, so Navigator versus Scarbrand Chan? Oh, that's interesting. All right, let's do a Navigator game. Navigator, lobby code, please. All right, so we're getting into round 3. Hey, Squigs and Pigs, thank you for the $5. Dude, I tried the Firelord Beastmaster cheese, and I just had no success with it. Yeah, you don't think so? Ardris? Then maybe I have a chance. We'll see. Just coughing. Dude, this freaking cough, man. I swear to God. It's the worst. Turn specialty. That nowadays it has been. I got some filthy Nurgle plague from somewhere. I don't know where. I'm pretty sure I went to a roller rink. So my wife and I, we went roller skating. And there was a lot of, like, you know, families there and stuff. And, you know, I think that there was some kids had some foul Nurgle plague and spread it there. Tommy K plays multi. Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, doing a Tommy. We could do a Tommy versus Lakari show match in Warhammer. That would be really cool. That would be really cool, actually. That would be super fun, man. Tommy is really impressing me. Like, of all the players, you look at their backgrounds, right? Like, so let me show you guys this real quick. Hold on. Let me pull it up here. Where are we? So let's pull this up. Hold on, guys. Yeah, Orange Pest has to set it all up. Yeah, of course. Okay, Frost. Let's check this. Scrolling up here. Yeah, Tommy, I think of all the players and the expectations that were put upon these players to, like, you know, be the best and whatnot, I personally am probably most impressed with the progress that Tommy has made in the event. So if we look here, right, Tommy comes from Hearts of Iron, right? And he played a lot of, apparently he's played a lot of Dota too. So that explains why he's, like, naturally good at the game. But watching him and the way that he studies the game and the way he, like, looks at it and just improves, he's very methodical. He really sponges in the knowledge. I am most impressed by probably Tommy's progress. You know, because everybody, including myself when the event started, which, again, Viper still has plenty of time to get better and beat all of us, but, like, everybody kind of expected him to jump up the most, which he still has time to. I mean, Viper is probably the most skilled RTS gamer in the whole tournament. Hands down. Like, Viper is the most accomplished. Age of Empires, like, Dark Lord wins everything in Age of Empires 2, which is a super hard game to play. And also, on top of that, he's a StarCraft 2 Grandmaster, which is so hard to do. So yeah, I think that Viper could still win it all. If Viper trains and takes it really seriously, I think he's, like, if he puts in the time, if he's playing as many games, he's playing a lot of games though. He does have 70 plus games. Yeah, but Tommy is I'm super impressed by him, and he's not playing Pally Rifle too. Like, Tommy is playing legit. He's playing, like, legit human Archmage, which isn't easy. Yeah, so Red Panda has an insane amount of wins. He went 14-1 yesterday, which makes a lot of sense because he placed very low elo in the beginning, you know, and that has, once he learns the game, which is what it sounds like he has, he's just crushing it now and climbing, right? So that makes a lot of sense. Tasteless we don't really know what to expect from Tasteless, right? He's He's not played much yet. He just dove in like day one and lost some games. This is not an accurate reflection of Tasteless. I think once he studies some tape and gets some good reps in, he's easily going to climb up to 1,000 elo plus and start winning a lot of games. Yeah. But yeah, it's been fun, man. And then Sing Sing is the new Dark Lord. He replaced T90. So T90 was probably the most, he had the most to learn. He hadn't played a lot of other RTSs outside of Age. I think T90 could have actually climbed up, but he wasn't enjoying it, right? But yeah, Sing Sing is already 1,500 elo in placements. Most people lose their placement matches because you're playing 1,500 elo people, but he didn't. He's like going 50-50 in placements, which is nuts. Tasteless is Day 9's brother, correct. Panda mentioned in coaching just now that he switched to some Farseer strat. Yeah, Farseer Headhunter early pressure will stomp most low-level players. If you go... Sorry, let me get back into the game here. Okay, we didn't miss anything. If you go Farseer Headhunter and just early pressure opponents and you have good RTS micro, you will beat most low elo players. It's a very punishing strategy, and new players just like really struggle against it. So what you do is you just go Farseer, Wolves, Headhunter, early pressure, mouth breathe, harass them while they're creeping. Low-level players cannot deal with that, including myself at times. And then you go tier 2, behind a couple of Headhunters. You get a Panda. You go creep with the Panda and the Headhunters while continuing to harass them with the Farseer. And then you just get ahead because they're struggling with creeping and your Panda's getting level 3. You get a big power spike and you basically just win the game. It's very, very strong strategy. Where do you buy Warcraft 3? Actually, from Blizzard. You have to get Warcraft 3 Reforged, yeah. Yeah. So on the Battle.net launcher, you get it, yeah. So we got our matchup coming in, guys. It's going to be the Demons of Chaos versus Warriors of Chaos. Really fun matchup. Scarbrand, if Scarbrand needs to bring aspiring champions, like literally mass aspiring champions are one of the best things you can do here. Yeah, we have a lot of strong contenders. Like, I think anybody is capable of winning. Anybody in this event. Super exciting. Like, everybody's really good RTS. I think in the last OnlyFangs Invitational, in the last Warcraft 3 Invitational Grubby did, there was a couple clear favorites, right? Like, it became very quick, like, okay, these people are going to be in the finals. But this one, yeah, we got, like, this one's a little more sweaty. Warcraft 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's in my top 3. Probably top 2. It's Total War Warhammer and Warcraft 3 are my 2 favorite games of all time, I think. Yeah, if I had to choose. Granted, I used to... Pwn and I played casual Warcraft 2, 2v2s. Getting into 1v1 has been really, really intense. Yeah. I was listening on Grubby's stream, and every single one of them who consult him asked for how to deal with Paladin Rifle, and that's what Sing Sing picked. I know! Pally Rifle's so brutal! Magic the Gathering is not a computer game. I'm not incorporating that. Yeah, I love Magic, and I love Warhammer Tabletop. If Professor Pwn would just quit his stupid job, move out to California, move next door, we could even start a Magic channel. We could have Commander Nights. That would be so much fun. Oh, that'd be so much fun. Holy shit. In another life, one of these days, when Pwn stops being lazy and moves out here, we can get going. So Benny says, yo, Turin, I'm a Warcraft 3 player, but curious about Warhammer. You got any videos that help me understand the game enough to watch your streams? So I would recommend joining our Discord. There's a lot of people there who can answer questions. Also, Benny, rewind to the first game today. The first game in today's stream, I did a pretty big explanation of like how the game works. And I do plan on doing a beginner's guide. Typically, people learn just through watching the replays and watching the tournaments around here. But I will do a beginner's guide soon because I've been getting a lot of messages from new players wanting to get into it. But yeah, we absolutely will. But yeah, we're going to be doing Warhammer today, Warcraft 3 tomorrow, and just kind of alternating. Become a billionaire streamer that can support me, and you got a deal. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen in the old Warhammer world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, taking a look at the Demons of Chaos Army. Front line is going to be the Demons of Nurgle, so it's going to be Plague Bearers, which are just a super good infantry unit. They have a massive HP pool of almost 12,000. They hit like trucks. They're really grindy. I love the choice of this unit here. I think that's very good. I'm not even a new player. Just want to see what multiplayer is like before you try it. Yeah, absolutely. And you'll get an idea of this here. So Plague Bearers in the secondary line, it's going to be Pink Horrors of Tzeentch. So this is the demonic shooting units. Pretty good at screening out horsemen. So if the Warriors of Chaos bring horsemen with javelins, you basically just use the pink horrors of Tzeentch to keep them at bay. In the sky, we do have an Exalted Lord of Change. He's going to be using the Lord Metal. So he's got Final Transmutation, Searing Doom, all that sort of goodness. And is quite nasty. This guy can do some work. So that's going to be it for the Demon Army, Nurgle and Tzeentch mostly. And for the Warriors of Chaos, it's going to be the Lord of the End Times, Archaon the Ever-Chosen, badass. Burning Head, Spirit Leech, optimal kit. Burning Head roasts through demons with magic damage, and then on top of that, you do also have Spirit Leech to snipe the big chicken. Front line's going to be Aspiring Champions, backed up by some Halberds. The Slaughter Guard of Khorne, I love this. So Slaughter Guard are hands down one of the coolest looking units in the game. They're an elite Halberd unit, but why they're good against demons is because they have spell resist and magic damage. So magic damage circumvents the 20% physical resist that demons have, and on top of that, they have 35% spell res. So if you try and snipe them with magic, they're very, very resilient. Very, very resilient there. All right, cruising for a bruising. We do get the Forsaken moving in and the Aspiring Giga Chads. These guys are really good against demons too because they do magic damage. So if you guys are newer to the game, you can read through the tooltips of units by mousing over them and hitting the I button. And you can mouse and see that demons have physical resistance, which means when they're fighting physical damage, they take less damage. But if you present magic damage, it's better at banishing the demons back to the warp. So pretty freaking badass. So Giant Chicken going to be diving in, doing a bit of fighting. Oh, Chicken! And yeah, he's going to be bonking down some of these Forsaken here. Obviously, baseline infantry that don't have spears or halberds are not going to be very good against monsters. It's going to be tough. But if I had to look at the two builds and say who's maybe favored here, I would say I think I like the Chaos opening build a little bit better. The demons need Fiends of Slaanesh. They need like Bloodletters. Bloodletters are one of the better answers for dealing with these guys. And what are we going to get? Hey, that works too. That shit works too. All right. Sorry about that. Goddamn, I'm too weak. Changebringers are going to be incredibly nasty. These guys are going to move up, and they are going to be cooking. So there they move, and if the Warriors of Chaos don't bring anything out in the sky to deal with these, they don't really have any. I mean, a Manticore, you could chase with a Manticore. Yeah, Changebringers are going to just feast like the Heathen Kings of old. Archaon the Ever-Chosen, bullying the chicken, forcing him back with a Spirit Leech. I think a Burning Head would have been a better usage of Winds of Magic here. Pop a Burning Head down the lines here. But now it's about to get ugly. If these Changebringers are left to be uncontested, if there's no Manticore, no Javelins, the Spirit Leeches and Magic should be on them. Now it's time to cook. Oh, the Warp Flame on the Slaughter Guard. No, not your expensive unit. Oh, that feels so bad. There's nothing to take these guys down. Like, you need to get your Horsemen over there. The Horsemen need to be underneath and throwing Javelins up at these things. You can't let them cook like that. So Slaughter Guard going to be retreating, running away, and Warriors of Chaos are now calling out Marauder Horsemen, which is good. Spirit Leech needs to be activated onto the Changebringers. Otherwise, you're just going to have a really bad time. But the melee fight is favoring Chaos. The Aspiring Champions are dominating the Plague Bearers, which makes sense. Heavily armored, magic damage, also assisted by Archaon here. And yeah, those guys are having a really, really bad time. So back to the fighting. We do get the Horsemen coming over, so it's going to be 2 Marauder Horsemen with Javelins. Slaughter Guard basically dead. So that unit that literally cost 1,700 gold is now in the trash can. But the game is still pretty close. Despite the Changebringers getting a lot of value, the Warriors of Chaos are still trading well in a lot of the fighting. And they do have the 2 objective advantage. Archaon needs to shut down these Changebringers somehow. Maybe use Spirit Leech. She can take it. I don't think she can take it here. So Javelins are now here. So we do have 2 Horsemen units. And these are one of the ranged units for the Warriors of Chaos. They're going to be throwing this. You know what the best counter would be to shut down Changebringers would be to do Azazel with Pavane of Slaanesh. You would basically just not even need to worry. If the Warriors of Chaos had come in with Azazel with Pavane, Changebringers just insta-die. It would pull them to the ground and get them massacred in melee combat where they have no strength. Archaon diving into the secondary lines. Oh, he's getting cooked by the Changebringers! Oh my god, down to half health. Archaon needs to get away from here. Oh, that's so rough. That's so rough. I think the Changebringers are probably going to carry this game. We do get the Horsemen trying to move through the Plague Bearers, but not quite able to breach through the lines. So this is going to be, yeah, or just a Pavane caster, that's right. This looks like it's going to be a face-to-foot style. I think Changebringers have already gotten 2,500 value. The Warriors of Chaos are just going to have to endure the Unga Bunga. They're just going to have to eat it. Oh god, another volley, just melting everything. They're taking so much damage, man. So Javelins return the favor. They do break through the shields of the Changebringers here. Hellstriders trying to shut down the pinks here, but not having a lot of success. And overall, the Hellstriders, yeah, just not doing super great. Demons of Chaos going to be calling in Furies to intercept them. So the Furies going to be jumping downtown onto the Hellstriders right there. And we do see the battle continuing to rage on. Aspiring Giga Chads, though, are doing work. And if there is going to be a chance, it's going to be because of the Chaos Infantry, the Warriors of Chaos. Slaughter Guard making their way in, and we do see the Chaos Troopers have broken through the Plague Bearers and gotten into the second rank. So that is one big advantage here, is that the Warriors of Chaos are winning the melee fight very decisively. And Changebringers, guys, are also going to run out of ammunition. So there will come a time when the Changebringers are going to run out of ammo here, and then the suffering will come to an end. They're going to have to be sent back to the Warp to restock their ammo, and I'm sure they'll be back in the late game. 3,100 value, though. They paid for themselves twice over. So Changebringers cost 1,500 gold, and they got 3,100 gold worth of value, and they're going to get unsummoned, which is going to give a 750 refund. So overall, those Changebringers basically just, you know, if this game is won by the demons, it's going to be because of their efforts. That is for sure. So Warriors of Chaos, a little bit of a blunder. They moved off the objective, so this is a little bit new Bodia. But it happens to the best of us. He's very excited to kill the demons, so he's chasing them, but he should have made sure he consolidated this objective first. And no, he does get it. Okay, so the Forsaken do manage to get to the point. And looking at the objectives here, we do see objective... Oh, no, he doesn't. I see Chaos. I read Chaos, and I was like, Warriors. But, yeah, he didn't quite get that point before he moved off. And now we get the Exalted Demonets of Slaanesh coming out. That's really nasty. These are some of the killier infantry in the entire game. They're going to be able to really, really butcher through the Aspiring Champion. So coming in are the Hellstriders of Slaanesh, and the battle continues to rage on, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So objective 1 belongs to the Demons of Chaos. Archaon trying his best, but he's very low. So the Lord of the Warriors of Chaos army is actually almost dead. He's gotten 900 value. He's being focused, and uh-oh, the drumstick beatdown is coming. The Lord of KFC himself. All right, Archaon could be in trouble. He's at 1,000 HP, but Archaon is one of the most elite fighters in the game. But even, I mean, if the Hellstrider's here, maybe. Dude, if Archaon kills the chicken with these tattered Hellstriders, that's going to be insane. All right, the chicken is taking a lot of damage. We do also get Fleshhounds coming in from Navigator. Scarbrand is still going for it. Scarbrand the Exiled is the name of the Warriors of Chaos player. Kind of confusing since the demons and whatnot. But that's going to be it. He's going to tap out. I think Warriors of Chaos, you know, the demons have 2 objectives. They're massively behind in value. Archaon is about to die. Yeah, you can see he's breaking. That is GG right there. All right, GG, well played. Mega Ultra Chicken. That's right. Fear the chicken. Fear it. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. It's been really fun today when we are just getting sort of started. That was round 3 in the tournament. So once the scores are reported, how it's going to work, we're going to have one more round of regulation followed by semifinals and a grand finals. Yeah. Slayer of Kings is good. Yeah, so I think you have to bring a Slaanesh caster. If we're in that matchup, you need to so I really only have a guide for Nurgle right now. Yeah, well, I know we have a Tzeentch build here, but yeah, it's fine. We could just, I guess we can keep it for now. So Walk, if I was playing Walk against demons, yeah, the Demons of Chaos won. They beat the Warriors, yeah. I think you maybe, although Azazel is a little bit vulnerable, but oh, you know what? Yeah, Valkia. Oh, come on. Valkia is the auto take. You go Valkia with Demon Shield and Sleipnir because she's flying. She can hunt those things down. And then you just go with a Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh. And then you just bring Pavane, really just to shut them down. And honestly, it's like a good lore. Even if they don't bring those things, you're going to be in good shape. Yeah, you cut all this shit. And you bring the Pavane of Slaanesh and Acquiescence, maybe? It's a pretty nice kit. Yeah, that is how you do it. This is how you win. And then you go Mass Aspiring Champions. Like, if the Slaughter Guard had stayed alive, it could have been, you know, a very different game. But so probably triple Aspiring Champion. I didn't hate the Forsaken. Hellstriders are pretty good. I think you still go maybe 2 Hellstriders in this matchup. I don't know if you need more than that. Yeah, Mass Marauder Horsemen are going to be nice. I think you're going to want 3 of those. And maybe 4, actually, against Demons. Their shooting is all right, but yeah, and 2 Marauders. So for reinforcements, I think you're going to want Forsaken. They're quite good against the squishy armor of the demons. Aside from that, let's see, what else do we want to mix in here? Bile Trolls are okay, but they die too quickly to demons. You could do Blood Beasts, but I don't think they're very good either. A Hell Cannon in the back might not be a bad idea from downtown. Because with Hellstriders, you should be able to protect it. Yeah, you should be able to protect it. I think we need to get an anti-infantry Hellstrider as well to kill Furies. Oh, you know what? In this matchup, yeah, I think we maybe go 2 of the Lash variant and 1 of the anti-large variant, maybe. I don't know. Maybe 2 anti-large, 1 Lash. Chaos Knights are actually pretty good against demons too, so you can go Chaos Knights, and then from here, I think you're just going to want to go for chaff units, basically. We're just a little bit awkward on the money. So let's see if we can afford 2 of these guys. So 750, no, not quite. Costs the same. Chosen, I think, are a little bit too flimsy here. I don't know if I like Armored Trolls. We can do like a Hound unit and then like a Halberd, maybe. It's such an awkward amount of money, man. Yeah, so we got, what, 600 left? Yeah, you could do like 1 Throwing Axe just for utility. What kills Fiends here? The Marauder Horsemen. The Hellstriders kill Fiends. The Marauder Horsemen kill Fiends. And Valkia kills Fiends. And also the Soul of Damnation can kill Fiends as well. So there's a lot of tech to kill those units. There's a hell of a lot of tech, yeah. Kolek, Dragon Ogres, I don't think so. They're okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're a little too expensive for what they do. You have plenty of tools to kill the Fiends. Like, you can Rampage the Fiends and then just kite them out with the Marauder Horsemen. There's a lot of ways of doing it. I think that's pretty doable. Yeah, Doom Knights aren't bad, Scarbrand. Yeah, you played well. You played really well, Scarbrand, considering you didn't have an answer for the Changebringers. Like, if you had an answer for them, I think you win the game. Yeah, you were winning a lot of the trades. It just came down to the Changebringers cooking you and you not having an answer for them. Okay, so a handful of games still to finish. Should be wrapping up here in the next couple minutes. Navigator versus Scarbrand there, and we still have a couple matches. So tonight is not an SFT, by the way. It's a Swiss event. It's a 3-faction event. So each player has 3 factions to choose, which is pretty fun. How are Chaos Dwarves doing? Chaos Dwarves sitting at... Yeah, everybody... Remember when everybody was like, oh my god, Chaos Dwarves are going to be OP. Let's ban them every matchup. And now they're just like a mid-tier faction like they've always been. Literally sitting in the exact same win rate they sat at before the buffs too, you know? I mean, they're obviously better, but... yeah, they're not OP at all, I don't think. Not OP. I give him 50-50. He either wins or he loses. That's right. That is right indeed. Valkia is the safest pick like 90% of the time, Dia. Valkia is just always good. She's good in like every single matchup. Because Sleipnir Rex Infantry is super bad. She's a really good assassin, really hard to kill. Azazel is more niche. You need to be really careful because Azazel dies really easily. He's like a glass cannon. That's Slanesh's whole thing. But, well, that's not true actually because their warriors are really tanky. But Azazel only has 5 armor. So if you go against Demons of Chaos and he gets caught like in a snare and blue fired and like Changebringer, he could just die like almost instantly. It's rough. Beastmen have been good for a long time. Beastmen are just super annoying. They're fast. They hit hard, and yeah, they have a very, very bad time. They have a bad time indeed. Wasn't there a time when Ogres? Ogres are still a little OP, I think. It depends if you have restrictions on them. Ogres are sitting at, what's their win rate right now? Yeah, 55%. They're better. Ogres are much more beatable now. The nerfs to Pigbacks and Thunder Tusks were good. But most tournaments are restricting Ogres, Thunder Tusks to 1. If they're allowed to bring 2, I still think they're OP. So Wei says, hey, Turin. I'm going to paint my first mini tonight. Any old school tips or tricks? Okay, so let's get into it, man. What are you painting, firstly? What's the mini? What's the color scheme? What faction is it? I need more details, and we can get into it. We can even show you on stream some goodness here. I'm waiting for it. Let us see what you got. As soon as I hear back from you, I'll answer your question. Slaanesh vs. Ogres can be more unfun to go against. Yeah, absolutely. They're both really unfun factions to play against. That is for sure. So let's refresh this. And let's check here. What's cooking? I really, really wish we would make a Warhammer movie. With the way that freaking AI is going, we're going to be able to make one soon. I want to go Custodes. Okay, so Custodes are pretty... They're one of the easiest factions in the game to paint. All right, so let's go to Games Workshop. Look at their shit. Do you have all your paints and stuff? You good there? All right, let's check this. All right, so you got your Custodes here, right? Are you looking for like more advanced techniques? Although you said it's your first mini, right? Those guys look freaking sick, by the way. Damn, they look really cool. Here we go. Here's more traditional Custodes. We found Henry Cavill's alt, yeah. All right. So with Custodes, what you want to do Yeah. You literally exactly what Copium said. You can spray prime them with gold. So there's a couple gold primers that Games Workshop has that are very good, and you can spray prime your Custodes gold. Okay. After you spray prime them gold, what you want to do is you want to give them their wash before you do the details. So spray prime them gold and then wash them in Seraphim Sepia. That's going to give them like a warm golden sheet, like kind of not shine, but yeah. So a couple things. Make sure you shake your spray can like very effectively. Check the humidity outside, and if it's too cold or too hot, it can cause issues with spray priming. So be very careful with that. Read some guides online first. Secondly, spray prime them with gold. Wash the entire model that's going to be gold with Seraphim Sepia. Then start to pick out the details. Okay. So once you start to pick out the details, you do the reds, you do all those. Always thin your paints too. So when you're painting the details, get your paints on like a wet palette or even on any sort of a palette, and use and also have a cup of water. So you can like dip your brush like ever so slightly in water and then dip it in paint. So like water paint mix to thin it a little bit. And you might be like, oh shit, this isn't covering the model very well. You're like, this looks like shit. Like the watered down paint is not covering the model. Well, the answer is doing multiple coats. So you're going to do one coat. Some paints you don't need to do two coats, honestly. Some paints cover really well, but some struggle. But if it doesn't fully cover, just do two coats, all right? Once you finish the details, you're probably going to use a different wash for the metallics and whatnot, right? I know, it's disgustingly expensive. It's really stupid. But this is literally like almost a full army for Custodes, which is pretty funny. But you're going to be using probably a Nuln oil wash on the silvers. And on the reds, you're probably going to use Nuln oil as well. Now, another cool tip for Custodes is once you finish the gold, you can get a little dry brush, or you can get like a little, like a regular dry brush or like a makeup brush, and you can get a silver, like a Stormhost silver or a bright silver. Make sure and look up some dry brushing tutorials, and you can just dry brush the whole mini, all the gold parts with silver. So you'll have the combo is spray paint, Seraphim Sepia, a dry brush with silver, not too crazily, just like, a light dry brush across the gold is going to make it look really dank. But that's just, the scheme, it's up to you. If you don't want the silver, if you're happy with how it looks after the sepia, don't do the silver. Personally, that's just the technique I use for gold. But yeah, there's hopefully you got me on a painting tangent right now. Yeah, no, Warhammer is disgustingly expensive, but Magic cards I think is more expensive. If you're an active Magic player, it's brutal. Oh, you guys want to see or paints Ultramarines? You want to see what happens if you don't frickin' thin your paints? Here you go. This is what happens. If you don't thin your paints, this is what happens. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I think Magic is more expensive. I have buddies who play Commander, and I've seen them drop $400, $500, $600 on like, expensive cards, right? Like on a regular basis, like every couple months they'll do that, making new decks and stuff. Whereas like for my Death Guard army, I probably spent like $800-900 on it over the years, and like not including the paints, and then it's basically just ready to go. Yeah, so this is what happens. You don't want to be this guy, okay? No, I don't want to play the YouTube video. I don't know what's going to be in it. But yeah, and then this, you don't want to be this guy. That's rough. Granted, your first mini might look like that, which is totally okay. But thin your shit down. And spray priming, don't go too crazy. Because if you spray prime your mini, and you miss a couple spots, just use some gold paint that's the same color to cover those areas, and you're going to be fine. All right, that was fun. A fun little Warhammer tangent. Warhammer armies, if you don't get carried away. Like with me, I have one 40k army and that's it. I haven't spent money on my 40k army on my Death Guard since 2019, 2020. And it's still all up to date, and it works for every match. It's golden, Whereas Magic players are constantly buying new cards. Unless you just want to, because new sets come out, you want to add these good cards to your decks, that kind of thing. Yeah. When I was getting really into Commander a couple years ago, I was like suffering. I was like, okay, I need to control this shit. So now I just like I straight up don't buy new cards. I'll trade in existing cards I have, and you know if it's like a $5 card, that's fine. But like any of those staples, I'm like, no, it's not happening. All right, so checking into the round here. Let's see how we're looking. 2 games to finish. So we got Maximilianaire versus B6 and Attack Speed Enjoyer versus Oishi. That is a power sweat match. So we have some of the best players in the world playing tonight, even though it's a small event. We got Tim, we got Oishi. Yeah, some really, really absolute Terminators. Yes, yes. Okay, let's do this. Was that helpful for you though? Those tips? Hopefully it was. My lovely wife she's the dark queen of painting. Like my minis look like very vanilla and very basic, but when she paints, because she's like a legit artist. So when you see Anna paint things, it's like it's super intense. Yeah. I wonder if we have any of her minis I can show you guys. Yeah. Yes. By the way, you guys want to check it out? This is my lovely wife's. She's got a clothing business. It's called astrosnouts.com, and she does a lot of like animal themed shirts. It's pretty great. Lots of great gift ideas. We got the Mortal Wombat, which is one of my new favorites. I really like this one. This one's great. Yeah. So if you want to be the Mortal Wombat, you can get this bad boy, and it's actually just like look through a bunch of these. You can see how hot right now. It's fun. Yeah. So these are the popular ones. She made a D&D dog alignment poster, which was pretty fun. So she drew all those, and these are all like hand drawn. No AI shit here. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. So you got the Border Collie, the Pug. Yeah, the Chihuahua being chaotic evil, I think, is like the most accurate element of this poster here. 100%. Let's look through the shop. We can do tees. There we go. Yeah, Mortal Wombat. Oh, this one's up also. This is for a limited time. So this is we just put this one up like yesterday. It's the existential crisis Skaven t-shirt. Yeah, so she just drew this guy. I mean, it's about, legally it's not a Skaven, it's a rat wearing some rags on its head. But you guys get the idea. It's maybe loosely influenced by. Yeah, in the same way that all of Games Workshop shit is just stolen Tolkien shit, basically. Yeah, not Skaven, yes, of course. And we have the Palpatine cat. I think this is probably the most popular one. Yeah, the Palpatine cat. This one's great. You do it. Yeah, a lot of fun. So check it out. There's a link. Should have a link over in YouTube as well and Twitch. If you could drop those for us, that'd be great. Yeah. Yeah. I know, it's always scary. There's no such thing as man-sized rats. Have you ever been to New York City? Because there's some giant freaking rats. Okay, giant New York City rat. Oh my God. Oh, those are some big-ass rats. I would show this, but there's some sad pictures too. Yeah, those are giant rats. So I love rats, man. I think they're great. I know that they cause the bubonic plague and shit, but like, man, I'm kind of a softie myself. Yeah. I'm definitely a softie. Rats straight up the size of pit bulls just roaming, yeah. Well, you know what's like always tripped me out about New York City? So my dad's from New York State, and he lived in New York City when he was 18 and basically set up his home there for the rest of his life. Yeah, so in New York, like all the businesses and stuff, when you're walking around at night, you're like, wow, this is like, you know, this is lovely. What a great rich culture and you know, in history. And then like at night, all the rats rise from the sewers because in New York City, all the businesses just take their trash and pile it on the street. Not all of them, but if you're going on like a late night walk in New York City, you're just being like bathed in trash. And you just see these giant rats like dragging slices of pizza into the sewers and shit. It's pretty uncanny. Yeah, it's pretty hog wild. Okay, so refreshing. Are we ready for the next round? One game finishing. Okay, and then we're going to be going to round 4. Then we got the semis and the grand finals, which is going to go much quicker because semis and grand finals is just between a couple people basically. So yeah, I wonder. I think the most rat-infested city in America is actually not New York City. That's like a stereotype and a misconception. I think the most rat-infested city, I think I read it was Chicago. Okay, most rat-infested city in the U.S. Okay. What is the... For the 10th year in a row, per pest control company Orkin, has named Chicago the rattiest city in America, followed by, oh shit, LA has New York beat? Damn. No, it's freaking, according to this, I mean, it's just the AI overview on Google, but it says Chicago, Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York City. Yeah. Let's see what they say here. Okay. Here we go. You guys ready for this shit? Okay, so wait, what? No way. Oh, maybe I was looking at an outdated one. Oh, I think... Hold on. Let's look. This year marks a decade of Chicago as the rattiest city in America. Oh, so it is Chicago. Sorry. Yeah, so Chicago... so this is from 23 to 24. Okay. So you guys are right. It's Chicago, followed by Los Angeles, followed by New York, and then San Francisco. Wow, California. We're going hard in the paint on the rats. Washington, D.C. I would not have expected Denver, actually. Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, rats probably... who doesn't love the LA weather, you know? You know, that's kind of a funny thing. You know, like, you get onto, like, the subjects of, like, homelessness in California, which is super sad, but you get... people often are like, you know... It's because the weather year-round is, like, it's livable, you know? Like, that's why people gravitate there. It's because they can survive there, you know? All right. Denver is pretty dirty, is it? I've never been there. Okay, so let's refresh this and let's see what's cooking here. Still not ready yet. Yeah. Coming from someone who lives in Philly. Denver, yeah, got it. Denver sucks. You guys are saying, really? Never been there, yeah. I mean, I've been interested in living in Colorado. The wife and I have discussed it a couple times. We've talked about maybe moving out there. We've looked at Colorado, Washington State. Yeah, we were thinking about looking East Coast too, but we're going to go take a trip out to like Maine, Massachusetts area and look out there too, because we're moving. Most likely, I mean, I would say a very high chance we're moving when our lease goes up in October. So, rats love Philly cheesesteaks and Chicago style pizzas. Hell yeah, dude. Who doesn't? I mean, I'm kind of outdoorsy, but not too much. You know, I'm more of a cave dweller. Isn't Maine even more expensive than California? That's the concern, yeah. That's the concern. You know, we love where we live, but it's just it's too expensive, yeah. It's too expensive. If you hit up Tampa, give me a shout out. It sounds good, man. Sounds good. Apparently, it's the most rat-infested city in Germany. Hamelin. Yeah, what's the most rat-infested cities in Europe? Oh, let's get into that. Most rat-infested cities in Europe. Okay, there's not like okay, what country has... Okay, the most rat-infested places in the world. According to this random article, I don't know if this is up to date, but it says the most rat-infested places are Johannesburg, South Africa, Guangzhou, China, Hamelin, Germany, Singapore, Paris, France is really strong rat population. New York City, obviously, yeah, it's in London. Yeah. Yeah, so we're getting into the Skaven discussion now. Let the Skaven feast. Please pre-record us cast before you make the move. Yeah, no, 100%. We'll have videos all good to go. I don't trust this article. This article just has like a bunch of random shit. I feel like it's just an op-ed piece. IRL Skaven. Paris is over flooded with garbage in the streets and... Oh, Frost with the low blows, man. Glad I didn't read that whole thing. The whole legend with the rat catcher and all this is and they're also... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think this article is bullshit, yeah. There were some green fires. Oh, have you guys seen that video of the green fire in the sewers? It was like a copper, some sort of metal, like reacting. Okay, green sewer fire. Okay. Hang on, let me see if I can pull this up. Okay. One sec, guys. I'm looking for the video. Let me find one without all these damn watermarks and shit. Alright, that's fine. Okay, can that go full screen? Okay, dude, come on. How hard is it to find one that isn't, like, covered with, like, TikTok shit? Yeah, well, anyways, just Google it. Just look up, like, green sewer, mysterious green flame shooting from sewers. Yeah, I don't want to, like, click on these weird channels, and I don't know them, so. Skaven cooking up war fires? Yeah, absolutely. They are. Okay, we should be ready for the next round. I know we've had a bit of a podcast discussing Skaven for the past 15 minutes, but yeah, let's get it. Let's get the next round going. Saturday night, 3-faction Dom tournaments. Gotta be ready at this point. Okay, so we're gonna do Oishi versus Navigator. We're gonna cast the undefeated players. Let's check here. Yeah, thank you, Frost. That's Popo in your message is so ridiculous. All right, so let's do Navigator's game. Yo, lobby code, please. I'm just following Navigator around in the small chance that the power fantasy of Chaos Dwarves comes to us. Skaven Guide, yeah, we're going to be doing a Skaven Guide, 100%. Yeah, Frost has got you guys, yeah. He's got you. Okay, and we'll message Oishi, lobby code, please. All right. So, today begins the saga. This is the round of 4, so these are 2 undefeated players. Navigator and Oishi are both undefeated, so both these guys are guaranteed a spot because they've won 3 rounds, right? So, the other spots could be Tim the Wilder, Tax Speed Enjoyer, Scarbrand could still qualify too, Maximillionaire, depending on how tiebreakers go. We have a whole tiebreaker system as well. Yeah. Dude, the Skaven with their warp fire throwers in the sewers, I know. It's only a matter of time before they rise up and overthrow us. That's how that's going to go down. All right, so I messaged these guys for the lobby code. Let's go see if we could just find it naturally. They probably don't have a frickin' spectator slot, so we need to wait a second. Change the background here. Yes. Skaven were battling a pigeon down there. I don't know what they were battling. They're probably trying to take out a rat catcher, you know? They had like some poor old man down there trying to like deal with them, and they just whip out a warp fire thrower. It's basically what happens because the Skaven have a huge undercity underneath Altdorf, which is the Empire capital, and I'm sure many. Oh, Tim screwed up the rounds. Oh, did he double click it? Let me see here. All right. I don't know what he's doing here. It's weird. I think Tim accidentally generated 2 rounds, which is fine because you could just advance the top 4 afterwards. Okay, let me check with Tim. Degen. Perfect. And we have our match. Oh, please give me the Dowie Czar. Come on, give us the Chaos Dwarves. Glorfindel says I'm married for 25 years and my wife watches Turin stream with me. Shout out to you and your wife, Glorfindel. Hell yeah. Hope you guys are doing well. Powerful married couple right there. And yeah, we're gonna hopefully have some fun for you here. We're gonna grind it on out. And okay. Since it's the last round. Okay, just chatting with Tim. And can you get to the spec slot? Oh yeah, I'm not in the spec slot. Okay, yeah. He didn't put a password on the game. So we need to load back in. Okay, I don't know what lobby it was. I think it was this one. Yeah. All right. Itachutu Dawi. All right, so we're in the spec slot here. I accidentally joined in. I thought I was competing today, man. My hands are a little bit worn out from all the Warcraft 3 grinding. So I need to cast a couple streams. One of my D&D sessions was being a city during a rat folk revolution. Oh my god. Does D&D have rat people? Because the underground civilizations you have the Dwagar, you have the Drow, you have you have that underground gnome race as well. There's a couple, right? But is there a rat, like a Skaven equivalent in D&D? I don't think there is, right? Is there rat people? There's got to be rat people. There's got to be. Come on, somebody's got to be able to answer this question here. Somebody's got to be able to do it. Okay, let's get this set up here. Were-rats? Okay, so you get were-rats. Is that the closest you can get? Is the were-rat? Yeah? Is that what's cooking? Okay. Were-rats and rat folk. So there are rat folk. Yeah, there's were-rats, but not like a true playable race, right? Kobolds? Yeah, kobolds are kind of like Skaven-like, right? They're like subterranean. Although Skaven are smarter and more scheming than... Like, Skaven are very clever, and but also, like, you know, self-sabotaging is kind of the whole thing. Just play a druid and turn into a rat for the whole campaign. That's right. Yeah, but you'd be like a small rat, right? Could you turn into, like, a human-sized rat? Last time I played D&D was with my wife. We played with... Old Pwn Dog was there, too, I think. We had the Chad Pwn. Played with Abba, I think, from Abba and Preach. Yeah, him and his buddy ran the campaign. It was a lot of fun. Granted, I don't enjoy D&D that much, but as far as D&D goes, I had a good time. I played a Necromancer, like a mage, obviously. Necromancer was very fun. Yeah, being able to summon shit in D&D seems really overpowered. Like I feel like the scope of Necromancer's powers, if the if the Dungeon Master doesn't control you, and you get to like a late level Necromancer, I feel like you just kind of can steamroll the campaigns unless the Dungeon Master does something to rein you in. Yeah, Pest we did. Yeah, it was fun. Not both of them. It was just Abba. Yeah, because he watches Total War. Yeah, he watches Total War Warhammer, or he used to. I don't know if he still does. He's awesome. He was really nice. Great guy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the Necromancer seems to get out of control. Summoning gets you extra action, so it breaks the action economy. Exactly. I just had a bunch of minions, and they just kind of like... It's like having an extra character, almost. Yeah. Warcraft goblins are techie. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, Warcraft universe goblins are like, you know, they're engineers. They're like volatile engineers. They're probably the most... Pretty similar to Skaven in some ways, actually. They have a lot of similarities, it seems like. In D&D, goblins are spies, assassins, thieves, and they also have like, a different culture. There's a story of magic users in D&D since forever. They always get out of hand, and they were way worse back in 3.5. 3.5 was the last time I played before this session. It was me and my roommates in college. We did a D&D playthrough of the Tomb of Horrors, which was hilarious. So our DM let us start off with higher level characters, and we went into the Tomb of Horrors, and we just got freaking wrecked. I think it was called the Tomb of Horrors. It's like a famously difficult dungeon. And we just did it for like an afternoon or two, and we just got freaking plowed. Oh my god. So we went into the dungeon, and we didn't have a rogue, right? So what we did to get around the trapped hallways and the pitfalls and things like that is I was playing a summoner class, and I would summon undead, and I would walk them down the hallway to trigger all the traps. So basically, we would hide around the corner, and I would use my summon units to walk down the hallway and just trigger all the traps. So then we could just pass afterwards. Tomb of Annihilation. That was what it was. It was the Tomb of Annihilation. That's right. Yeah, this was like 2011. It was a long time ago. Yeah. I think it was the Tomb of Horrors or Tomb of Annihilation. They both sound really familiar. I don't know which one. Yeah. Okay, so Slanesh versus Greenskins. Holy shit. Oh my god, this is just pure power sweat. So Na'vi is going for blood. But Greenskins are pretty good too. So we're getting a Slanesh game on the Blood Grove here. Alright guys, I'm going to go refill my water. I will be right back. All right, guys, we're back in business. So the two power sweats here are getting it going right now. Yeah, they're preparing. Tomb of Annihilation is 5th edition adventure. Okay. Oh, so it includes a Tomb of Horror, a comparable one. Okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, druids are really fun in D&D too. Yeah, I don't like playing D&D that much, but when I did, yeah, they were a fun class. I just don't get into the role playing as much. I just like the fights, like the combat and the tactics. That's what I enjoy most about D&D. That's why Baldur's Gate was great. Baldur's Gate, like I don't even like single player games, but I actually played through the first 2 acts of Baldur's Gate and enjoyed it. It was fun. No, it's not a greenskin mirror. It's Slanesh versus greenskins. Yeah, so it will not be a mirror match here. It's going to be a little bit different. Okay, let's do some of this. Check that. And let me go here. Do this. Okay, guys, just checking something here. Perfect. Yeah, looks all good to me. Looks all good. No drama. What's going on, Dreamer? Welcome to the stream, man. Cody says I struggle to enjoy playing greenskins. I guess yeah, they're pretty micro intensive, but also they're a good faction. They have a low win rate because they're hard to play, but they're a very high level faction. I'm genuinely curious how this is going to go versus Slanesh. I don't know about the restrictions Tim has on the tournament today. Let me look. Seekers are banned. Okay, so Seekers are banned, but you can still bring Heart Seekers, which are a lot. They're 1,500 gold, so it's not as bad. Yeah, Tim's got some good rules. He's limiting Seekers, limiting Thunder Tusk, and Arrow of Kurnus is limited to 1. I think that's a good tournament there. Raksha, probably not at this point. I don't think we'd be too interested. I mean, Anna played the hell out of that game, and yeah, maybe someday though. I don't know. It's not out of the question. If Anna and I, what we might do is a Heroes of Might Magic 3 stream. Oh, it's so good. All castles. Yeah, it's all towns. Yeah, let me get this. We would love to do a we have streamed Hom 3 together in the past. It's so much fun, dude. Oh, it's so good. Just look at this glorious, glorious nostalgia. Yeah, the unofficial Heroes 3 wiki. Yeah. The Giga Chat Inferno. That's my favorite. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at the beauty of that town. Oh, with the huge devil in the background. Yeah, it's so fun. Their units are a little haggard, but I really enjoy it. Yeah, man, I miss this game. I got to get back to playing it. I'd watch Hom 3. It's so good. Inferno's my favorite. Anna is a Rampart enjoyer. So Rampart is like the nature-centric one. Yeah, they're like up in the trees. They have like elves and stuff and all sorts of forest spirits. Very fun to play. They added a couple new ones, by the way. They have the Cove and they have the Factory. So they have 2 new factions on the unofficial expansion, which is pretty fun. Yeah, I haven't played Factory yet, but they look cool. I'll have to give them a try. Halflings, Mechanics, Engineers, Armadillos, Automatons, Sandworm. What's their ultimate unit? A Juggernaut? Oh, dude. Oh, that's cool. They get like a mech suit? Wow. Badass. Necromancy? Oh, yeah. I mean, dude. When we were chatting on Grubby Stream yesterday, you know, talking about what he played, I knew he was going to say he plays Necropolis. Necropolis is so evil, dude. They're so evil. I knew it. I knew he was going to be into that. You've never played Hom 3? Oh, Glorfindel. It's one of the goats of the 90s. No greater good, Pwn. Get that shit out of here. Grubby rolls with the Skeleton Doomstack. It's really strong. Yeah, it's very meta. Skeleton Doomstack is no joke. I like to rush the Ifrits. That's my favorite unit, and then power creep with them. That's usually my go-to. Yeah, because in Hom 3, it's just a lot of it is about efficiently creeping without losing units. Oh man, I'm gonna install Hom 3 tonight. Yeah, Horn of the Abyss is so good. Tower is my favorite, but Necropolis are fun too. If you want to be a power sweat, just get Solomir. Play Tower with Solomir, the Chain Lightning. I might play that someday, Supreme. Yeah, maybe. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 4. This is a duel between our 2 undefeated players. Taking a look at the armies of Navi, aka Navigator. He's going to be using double Hellstriders with anti-large, which is very good against greenskins, because greenskins present squigs and boars and big targets like that. And on top of that, we do have a battle line of Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, so going to be bringing a big armored front line. So Chaos Warriors are fairly elite, very, very grindy, and they can get her done. Get her done. We do also have Inkari. So Inkari is a pretty solid choice as well. But you got to be really careful. Inkari only has 15 armor. And if it gets caught and trapped by boar boys and shot by archers, you can basically instantly lose the game, which is going to feel very, very bad. So that's going to be Inkari, and outside more Hellscourge warriors. Or no, those are basics in the middle with Hellscourges on the outside as well. So, looking at the greenskin Wog for Oishi. Oishi going to be using a front line of Orc Boys, Archers in the back to mitigate Fiends, Seekers, as well as Big Demons. We do have Grom the Punch. He is an armor-piercing anti-infantry character, so the Big Chungus is back, and he's going to be quite excellent against the Chaos Warriors if you could just cycle charge them on his chariot, and Boar Boys in the back as well. So the battle is on. Inkari, what spells are we going to be seeing? We see Pavane of Slaanesh, one of the best spells in the game, and Witstealer Sword, which literally is a 100% damage buff. It's pretty gross. If you could pop Witstealer Sword when you isolate the Greenskin Lord, you know, that you could basically just kill that character like instantly. Although Grom is tanky. Grom has a lot of HP, he regenerates, and he did not bring the Lucky Banner. So Objective 2 goes to Slaanesh instantly, so they are able to get that using their Hellstrider Vanguard. And Greenskins are going to roll up and get Objective 3 most likely. The Hellscourge Warrior here probably going to get pounded if he stays here by them, if they stay there by themselves against the Greenskin Wog, especially with the Boar Boys coming in. And Grom is going to do it. So Chariot's out. He's got his gut out. No, he actually opts to pull away. So he's going to be retreating here and getting away. And there he goes. Total War and Warhammer 40k are the same universes. You mean Warhammer Fantasy and 40k? They're not, no. The people used to have theories that they were, but Games Workshop said they're not, I think, so. Yeah. Karl Franz is one of the lost Primarchs. That's the story. So back on the fight, we do see objective number 3. Almost captured by Slaanesh, but the Greenskins move 2 units on. So for anybody who's newer, this is 5 capture weight, that's 10, and this is only 5 here. So the objective will flip to the control of the Greenskins. Objective number 2 belongs to Slaanesh. Objective 1 going to be captured by Slaanesh as well. And yeah, Slaanesh does have the points advantage, and they are going to be moving into fight. So we do get the Hellscourges getting ready to do battle. So they're going to be piling in with the Orc Boys, and they got their whips out for the Dark Prince, and certainly will beat the brakes off an Orc Boy unit. Orc Boys do not have good armor piercing, so they're going to struggle. On the outside, we get a big mobility fight. We see the Pavane of Slaanesh activated on top of the Savage Orc Boar Boys, and the Hellstriders and Inkari get into the Greater Demon of Slaanesh, leading the charge as the Greenskins start to get routed on this side. On that same note, though, we do see a Doomdiver Catapult called out by the Greenskins. So Oishi does have artillery in the back, and this is a heat-seeking artillery unit. So it's going to be quite excellent at chasing that Slaanesh Lord over the course of a long game. Another Boar Boy moving in. So the Savage Orc Boar Boys and the Goblins moving in. They do have spears. Once again, this should favor the Slaanesh forces. They basically have a 3v1 versus this Cav unit. And there's going to be some witchcraft going down, though. It actually is an Ere We Go. And Grom the Paunch going to be leading the charge here. Very dangerous with the Greater Demon of Slaanesh nearby. But it looks like he's going to be trying to do battle with Inkari as he sweeps his axe there. But Inkari pops the Witstealer Sword and is going balls deep on Grom the Paunch. He loses almost half his life in 2 hits. Very dodgy. Oh no, is that going to be a Pavane? Let's see, Willing Prey and Pavane of Slaanesh. Okay, Inkari's going for the kill. This could be extremely brutal, but Inkari is eating Archer Fire. Hellstrider's going to be charging in here. How is this going to go? This is very dangerous for Inkari, though. Inkari is at 3,700 HP. The Archer is saturating in, and we do also get the Boar Boys getting a nice anti-large surround as well. Doomdiver Catapult still peppering fire in, and it looks like Oishi might get the last laugh there, ladies and gentlemen, as Inkari is forced back, and Inkari does not have the same healing potential as Grom the Paunch. So at the end of the day, that fight, heavily favored, ends up switching to the Greenskin side because this character is almost like 4,000 gold. It's like 3,500 or something. So taking that kind of damage is definitely not fun. So what Inkari needs to do is rotate over here to the safer part of the battlefield and just start bullying some of these weaker positions. Fighting in the entrenched Greenskin back line is incredibly dangerous here. Incredibly dangerous. Inkari does have some healing via the Harvester of Souls. So when a unit is destroyed or routing near you, it does trigger a heal. So Inkari does have some healing, but really, really needs to move over here and get on this. So Chaos is going to be calling in Furies to try and shut down the artillery. And the Warriors of Chaos are winning a lot of the infantry fights. If you look here, you can see the Greenskins getting bashed pretty much on every front. The Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh are very elite, and the Orc Boys are a chaff unit. They're very, very poor quality. So obviously that's going to happen. And over here, really nice play. Navi using the Furies to help the Chaos Warriors win that fight. and maybe a triple cap coming in, because the value does favor the greenskins. Remember, a lot of that value is tied up in the greater Demon of Slaanesh, which I think should try and make its way back and get some healing done, perhaps. Doomdiver catapults are online, though. The Doomdiver catapult is pretty much zeroed in. It's trying to move up and get in range of the greater demon. So if you see the range here, it's like right at the edge. It's going to be targeting down Inkari there, which is very, very fun. Now back towards objective number 2 here. We do see the Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh holding the objective. Chaos Warriors here trading well. And is Chaos going to get this objective? If they get a triple cap right now, the greenskins could actually be in considerable danger. And it looks like that is going to be a triple cap. So every single objective, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be going to the champions of the Dark Prince. Chaos Warriors here getting run over by Grom the Paunch. Like I said, really good armor-piercing character. He's going to be able to bonk some of these warriors. He's got his big old axe. He cleaves some of them down, and they are taking casualties, but, you know, fighting goblins is a pretty easy fight. Forsaken of Slaanesh, really hard hitting. If you want to see a unit get massacred, watch the HP of these goblins. In sustained combat, the Forsaken are going to just butter their freaking bread. But the Boar Cav coming in to help. So flanking Boar Cavalry with the Wah going down. So the battle cry is here. And now Slaanesh is in a potential situation where they might get folded up here on this side. Damn, curse the Vagans. Inkari's moved back in. 3,000 HP on Inkari. Going to be going after Grom. Oh my god, he's rampaged with Willing Prey activated as well. Witstealer's Sword. Is Grom the Paunch going to survive this? Inkari is trying to attack, but does miss the first attack. Attacks something behind it instead. A bit of a misplay here from Navi. Not spam clicking on Grom actually allowed Grom to get away without taking any damage. And the sniping attempt there was a bit of a fail. But on the objectives, the middle objective owned firmly by Slaanesh. On the outside, we do have some Hellscourge Warriors battling it out. But those are Savage Orc Biggins. They're no joke. And I think the Hellscourge Warriors are heavily outnumbered. As a matter of fact, yeah, 2 Savage Orc Boar units and the Savage Orc Biggins. Forsaken going to be coming in to try and help that fight. We're going to see how that fight goes. We'll peel back over there. But middle owned by Slaanesh. Outside objective is owned by the Dark Prince's champions as well. But they're starting to get worn down. And Kari coming back in to try and bully Grom again. But Grom is able to escape. Very, very sneaky. So Grom, quite treacherous. Doomdiver catapult shooting into old Inkari here. As Inkari moves in, potentially going to be threatening a tear route. But if the goblins run here, what's going to happen is Inkari's going to get healed. So 2,700 HP. And the goblins are terrified. Does that count? I think they have to be running, like actually broken. Let's read the tooltip. So enemy, oh, they have to be outright destroyed. Never mind. Okay, I was wrong about that. I never played this character. So yeah, basically a unit has to be wiped out, which actually isn't that good. It's a big ass heal though. It's very, very good. So on the outside, looks like these Slaanesh warriors with their massive dongs here, able to just defeat the Savage Orcs' aggression. So the Cav get pushed back. The Forsaken of Slaanesh are just a beast mode unit. Although getting charged by Savage Orc Warboys is going to be tough. But I think with their 63 weapon strength against only 35 armor, they're probably going to win that fight. We'll have to see. And the Hellscourge Warriors are going to defeat the Savage Orc Biggins. It's going to take time, but they'll get there. And now Slaanesh is going to get this objective back, which is very problematic for the Greenskins. So Greenskins still struggling a little bit. We do see the Orc Boar Boys push back. Hellstriders chewing through them pretty well as the Forsaken continue their bumping and grinding. And looking right here, we do see the objective number 3 controlled by the forces of Slaanesh. Objective 2 controlled by Slaanesh. And on the outside, it's only a matter of time before the Dark Prince's champions get their whips out, and they are going to get her done. So yeah, Chaos Warriors, pretty Giga Chad. They're some of the coolest looking units in the game. I love Slaanesh Warriors. They have these kind of like, yeah, the helmet like mohawks. They look so freaking cool. But the problem for the Savage Orcs is they lack armor piercing. So getting through the 100 armor and the physical resist that Slaanesh Warriors have is very tough. Forsaken defeating the Savage Orcs who are going to be running away. Middle objective is in flux, but Hellstriders are going to be able to zip over and likely counter Grom the Paunch. Though it looks like they're going to be engaging here. Uh-oh, Inkari's coming for that bread again. And it is going to be forcing Grom the Paunch back. So even though Inkari's very low, it's still a very strong fighter. And Grom would not win that fight probably. Maybe, I don't know. With his current health, it's possible. He's going to be turning around and going for it. So he's going to be fighting. He does get Here We Go. Okay, his melee attack is going to be sauced up. Witstealer's Sword, though, is activated. And Grom is not ready for 1,000 weapon strength. Holy shit. Oh my god, Grom is getting pounded. This could be, oh my god, he's going to get no-scoped. Inkari going for the kill. And Grom the Paunch gets put in the trash can by the Greater Demon of Slaanesh. Oh man, Witstealer's Sword is nasty. I mean, it's Inkari is like the, oh, and he gets the heal. Inkari's going to get the fat heals now for wiping out a unit. Oh my god, that was so good. Yeah, bro got a little cocky there, a little bit. Holy shit. I mean, Inkari is one of the scariest duelists in the entire game. So yeah, that was definitely a mistake. So at this point, Oishi is up in value, but all that value is tied up in Inkari, who's still very effective here. I think that this is probably GG. I think that the Greenskin army with the leadership deficit is really going to struggle. We do see Na'vi with a pretty big points lead, but some of the objectives are faltering. Chaos Warriors and Spears here, fighting versus swath of Orc Boys. Probably going to move some mobility over, maybe get some like Hellstriders to try and secure that objective. That was a really steel chair moment. Yeah, and Kari with Wit Stealer's Sword didn't hear no bell whatsoever. Yeah, he's only got 900 HP. How bad could it be? Yeah, last words. Dude, Slaanesh is the duelist demon, right? Like a Bloodthirster would not have even killed Grom that quickly. It would have done a lot of damage, but yeah, that thing is nasty, nasty. Beautiful play. So at this point, the Greenskins actually do have some map control, though. They push Slaanesh off the middle a little bit. Over here is a little bit dodgy. What you do if you're Slaanesh, they have so many points at 1171. They can just Helm's Deep. Basically, just send every amount of resources you get, all your supplies, over towards Objective 1, and just anchor it down. And Kari getting another wipe here, actually. Another heal. Oh, that's so clutch. Getting a full wipe on the unit, on a Boar unit that was trying to run away, is going to be triggering the heal. Yeah, so Na'vi going to be moving back in. Oh my god, the blessed number, 69 kills. That's what she said. Oh, that's so good. That's so good, man. Look at that. That's just a thing of beauty right there. But the Fat Heal's doing it. Doomdiver Catapult Tech has been very good. It's got 900 value this game. And now you're going to be moving in. So the win conditions are King of the Hill or Total Annihilation. It's a combination of both. You're fighting over the objectives. So for example, there's some armies in this game that sacrifice effective value trading. So they just bring a shit ton of units to capture the objectives, and they might not trade efficiently with their opponent's army, but they win on points. But yeah, it's a combination of value trading with your opponent, fighting over the objectives. There's 3 objectives, each of which gives 1 victory ticket per second. It's super fun, man. I think this is one of the most underrated RTS games out there. It's similar to like Company of Heroes or Dawn of War 3. Very similar to those. Like Company of Heroes is a great parallel, although it's squad based, but this is more this is like Company of Heroes but with big armies, basically. Yeah. And it's in Warhammer Fantasy, which is a great setting. Okay, Grom the Paunch has come back. He is regenerated, but it's going to be probably far too late for him. And Kari's sitting at 600 HP. Is it going to be round 2 for Grom the Paunch? So just like in Company of Heroes, you can resummon. You can resummon things when they, go. Like if you lose a tank, you can call in another one. And in this case, you can resummon your lords. But typically, it's a losing situation when you resummon your lord because you lose. They're expensive. They're like 2,000 gold. So instead of getting 4 or 5 infantry units that have 5 capture weight each on this objective, you're getting 3 capture weight. So resummoning the lord is usually not. And for the Greenskin leadership, it's not bad. But generally, it's a disaster for losing. Typically, yeah. And Inkari might get another kill. I don't think so. Inkari is hiding. And the reason why Inkari is hiding back here, for anybody who's a little bit newer, is the fact that when your lord dies in your army, it penalizes the leadership of all your units and makes them run easier. So you don't want any of that smoke. So yeah, it's basically up to Navigator to try and hold this. Is there any other pressure on the outside? We do see some Chaos Warriors heading over here, some Marauders there. They could actually threaten that back point maybe too. But yeah, I think Slaanesh is just going to make it stand on this objective and try and win. So buff coming down from the Greenskin Wizard. Degradons is here, and there we go. So big stat line buff. There is a small chance that the Greenskins might be able to get this. We do see some Warriors coming in. Really nice interference. So what Oishi is doing is running interference on the Chaos Warriors. We do see Furies coming in. Now you can see the little green arrow means the person who owns the objective is still has more capture weight. But if it starts to go the other way, it goes in flux. Let's get some dank cinematics, by the way. As we see the Forsaken battling it out with the Goblins, tearing him to shreds. The Lord of the Greenskins trying to rally the troops in the 4th quarter. Boar Boys fighting against some of the Slaanesh Cav, the Anteater Cav, as I like to call them. And yeah, the furries have come. They're gonna be bringing out their furry costumes here. Orcs got Orc Boys coming in as well as Orc Biggins. Currently, only 1 victory ticket per second for Slaanesh. A little bit precarious. We are going to be getting more Hellstriders called in to try and maintain the point. These Warriors are going to be incredibly tough to uproot, and the Forsaken here are able to get some great damage. But yeah, he needs to probably bring the Hellstriders on the point, but rather he's going to be chasing off some of the Cav units out here trying to break those guys. So, back on the point. The Flying Air Force of Na'vi able to intercept the Ruglad's armored Orc Boys, and these Orcs are going to have a really bad time versus these Chaos Furies because they have the armor piercing. Although the Greenskin Wog is getting a little bit of capture weight, guys. This could still go. It's 1,400 points. The Greenskins have been trading on the battlefield pretty well, and Inkari is having to hide, so the Greater Demon is hiding in the corner, right? Oh my god, Oishi might be able to pull this one out. That'd be a beautiful comeback. Are we going to see any shenanigans on the other side? Doesn't look like it. And this objective's really close to flipping, ladies and gentlemen, as the Boar Boy Cav are chasing after the Hellstriders. Hellstriders trying to get away. And will Slaanesh be able to fight their way back? Grom the Punch, you know, providing a nice anchor here. So I guess resummoning him was the correct choice. We will see. Hellstriders versus Orc Boys. Here's the thing, though, guys. Slaanesh is very close to winning. They only need 75 points, which is a minute and 15 seconds. So if they can value trade here and somehow get this objective back, they can get back in this. But yeah, very nice comeback here. We do see the Boar Cav getting folded up. And Inkari is hiding in the shadows with only 600 HP. You could probably engage Inkari here, honestly. Try and get some heals or something. Is Slaanesh going to be trying anything on the other side? Does not look like they're going to make an attempt for any of these objectives, but the Fungus army is pissed. Yeah, they're back. They are back indeed. Warriors trying to fight. Grom the Paunch getting some good work done. He's currently sitting at 2,000 value, so certainly paying for himself. And Slaanesh is going to be using its mobility to go to the other side. I like this play a lot. Run with your 100 speed units to the other side of the battlefield. Get here and try and compromise this objective. We got Forsaken coming in. This is a weak point. So this is another tactical element of Total War Competitive, is that, you know, you can keep fighting these blob fights, but if you're a really fast maneuverable army and your opponent's a little bit less fast, you can maneuver over to the other side. So here they come. Forsaken will do very well here. Goblins are on the way. Inkari should come in and just terror out this shit off the objective. We do see some Orc Boys called in. Using the Hellstriders to rear charge in would be a good idea, or using them to intercept the reinforcements and keep them from getting there. Slaanesh is one of the fastest factions in the game, so they're very capable of doing this kind of play. But yeah, running interference with the Furies, like blocking up all these advancing units, would be very MLG. The capture weight does belong to Slaanesh. That's a lot of capture weight there. Hellstriders are kind of chilling, charging into the back of the Goblins. But the Orcs are on their way over. They have a lot of stuff coming, including Grom the Paunch. And is Slaanesh going to get it done? Are they going to be able to get this objective? Find out on today's episode of Dragon Ball Z. Inkari coming in. Where are these Hellstriders going to go? They need to fight some of the Orc Boys. They need to fight Grom the Paunch. Okay, capture weight is flipping. Boars do arrive. Hellstriders are here. Inkari providing 3 capture weight as well. And stay on the objective. Stay on the objective with Inkari. Oh, man, if that were closer. Slaanesh gets the objective. All right, guys. So this is back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. Slaanesh has used this mobility to get the objective, and the Greenskins might lose this game. Good play here. This one unit of Hellstriders is occupying a total of 6 capture weight for only 4, which is very good. All right, 50 seconds left. The Greenskins don't have too much time. We do have the Orc Biggins retreating away from the fight, actually, as the Slaaneshi Heretics continue doing their thing. Is Inkari going to be going in for the killing blow? Witstealer's Sword is active once again. Na'vi attacks into Grom the Paunch. Oh my god. Is it going to get another kill on Grom? That would be freaking hilarious. Grom is getting pounded here. Oh my god. Inkari might get another KO blow. And if that happens, the Greenskin army is going to fold and run. Holy shit. Grom is down to 3,000 HP. Inkari going balls deep. Absolutely balls deep. Broken. -9 leadership. And the bread has been buttered once again. And the champion of Slaanesh is going to be claiming victory here this day. Oh my god, that was one of the best games we've had on the channel in a long time. Amazing game between those two players. And with that, Slaanesh gets the job done. Oh my god, MLG, Pro Gamer, Mom Get the Camera, Inkari. That game was so freaking good. 3,900 on Inkari, very good. Masterful maneuvering too. A lot of newer players would have just continued grinding on that one point, right? But the foresight to maneuver and try and counterattack the other side, chef's kiss. Forsaken did really good, and yeah, it was just an overall a really, really nice match. Grom was a beast, though, too. I mean, considering he died, he still got good value. All right, guys. GG. Well played. So now, those players are both going to qualify for top 4 since they had the best tiebreakers. We are going to be going into the top 4, which is going to be super fun. Well, 1 game left. So looking at the leaderboard, it looks like it's going to be Navigator, Oishi, Attack Speed Enjoyer, and Tim the Wilder. Maybe if he wins this game, we're going to have to see. Yeah, so do we, out of curiosity, do we have any folks here today that have found the channel from Warcraft that have never seen this game before, that are watching it for the first time? Curious. Hey, CHRH, thank you so much for subscribing over on Twitch. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, if you guys have an old Twitch Prime you're looking to throw, we certainly appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, we got a couple. I am one of them. Yeah, Crizzle. Nice. Welcome. Yeah, and Kaiser. Kaiser, I could have sworn I recognized your name. So Kaiser and Crizzle. Well, thank you for joining. What do you guys think? Is it you enjoy the game? What are your initial thoughts? I'm always curious to hear outside perspectives on Total War Competitive. Damn, just getting into top 4. Yeah, we're just getting into top 4 now. So we are 2.5 hours in, and now we're going to have the semifinals and the grand finals as well. Yes, yes. Let the Skaven feast. I'm going to be doing some sweaty Warcraft 3 training later tonight, probably off stream, and then tomorrow we'll be streaming it as well. All right. Drag my butt over here from YouTube. Thank you, man. Yeah. Yeah, we do both. Azador, thank you for becoming a subscriber. Thank you, man. Yeah, we got 4,000 people watching on old YouTube, a couple hundred on Twitch. Pretty great, man. We're making a lot of new friends here, which is fun. How many of the YouTube stream open just to the... I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how people are watching. Yes, yes. So, yeah, now we got the semifinals and grand finals. Love the channel. Your old 40K bat reps during COVID cost me hundreds. Oh, really? There's only 2 of those, I think. We only put up 2 battle reports. I'll put up some battle reports on the channel. I'm talking... yeah, both open for support. Thank you, man. I'm going to be... oh, I have some fun news for you guys. So, I know we're not doing the tabletop channel, but I'm going to record a battle report with some of my friends who run the tournament scene for Old World. So I'm going to go down to the Orange County area, and I'm going to record some battle reports, maybe 1 or 2 with him. And we're going to upload it to the channel, just to my main channel. So you guys, we will get some Old World battle reports. You'll get to see the armies in action. Yeah, it's going to be super fun. So the purpose is to record it and upload it. Yeah. Which is going to be great. Yeah. Old World feels okay. Yeah, feels okay. Thank you guys so much. All right. I was familiar with Total War before, but didn't know there was a competitive community. Yeah, it's pretty big, honestly. For how niche it is, we have a very solid competitive community. We have like 7 or 8 tournaments a week, and yeah. I don't know the name of the store. Yeah, I think we usually play at a Comic Quest. Is it Comic Quest or something is where we play? I'm not sure where we're going to record it, though. Would love to see your Warcraft 3 training arc in full. Loka had good streams today. Nice. Yeah, I mean, we had a huge training arc yesterday stream. If you missed the Warcraft 3 stream yesterday, we had that. I'm going to be streaming Warcraft 3 tomorrow, and we're just going to be alternating every day between Warcraft and Warhammer, basically, until the event's over, and then it'll be back to mostly the Warham. Yeah. How's Loco doing? Is he doing pretty good? Yeah, he's a GM in StarCraft, right? So he should be a beast. He should be a beast. The only thing that catches StarCraft players off guard is the hero management. Like that's a big part of Warcraft 3. Yeah, that's the Old World Champions is or Old World Legends is the name of the channel we're going to be recording with. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time. Okay, and do it. We're about ready. Perfect. Yeah, so we're not doing the tabletop channel yet, Orc Cleaver. If I move somewhere where I have people to play with, because the problem is where I live now, I can barely get an Old World game. It's like I have a friend who can play every couple weeks, but like it's not enough to sustain a bat rep channel. Like I need to move somewhere where there's actually a community I can record with. Yeah, it's been great watching Anticity play. Yeah, no, I'm glad he comes back. Anticity's like Gandalf a little bit. He goes off on these like random quests. And then he disappears and doesn't stream for a couple months. And then he comes back and just like is really fun to watch. And then he disappears again. Hopefully he stays this time. Yeah, hopefully he stays. He's really fun to watch. Because he's so skilled, you know. He could just do so much. Okay, so we should be top 4 now. Yes, he's been doing some long streams. He has. So we got our top 4, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you what this looks like real quick. So on the website, we're going to be transitioning to top 4. And now we have Oishi versus... Oh, we're watching that. That's so sweaty. Max Millionaire and Navigator on the other side. Okay. This is our top 4. So we're going into the semifinals right now. All right. So let's do Tim the Wilder. Because I know he'll respond to me quickly. Lobby code, please. From Grubby stream to Turn stream. Good Saturday, yeah. Oh, for sure. Good prep for the Warcraft 3 tourney. Love the focus on notes, taking it seriously. Yeah, absolutely. Are we talking about battle reports on Warhammer TV? No, we're talking about me uploading battle reports to my channel of the miniature game. So I play Warhammer the Old World, which is the tabletop version of this game. And we're eventually going to be uploading some bat reps, which is I'm super excited for. Very, very excited. All right, so this is a semifinal match. The winner of this is going to be going to the grand finals, which is very hype. So it's Tim the Wilder versus Oishi. They both lost the game in this tournament, but they went 3-1. Yeah, Orc versus Undead getting punched in the dong. Yeah, oh yeah. Turin showing up with a whole ass document ready to go is great. Yeah, did that catch people off guard? I don't know what people's reactions were to it, but that's just how now I have a cheat sheet. So if I'm in a matchup and I'm like, why did I lose? I can go to Grubby's cheat sheet, and if I do the builds he recommended to me, then the reason I lost was because of my bad play or misengagements and things like that. Who am I most worried about in the Warcraft 3 tournament? Sing Sing, 100%. He literally is winning his placement matches against 1,500 ELO players, which is not good for us. We'll see. He's also playing Pally Rifle, which is like a hard counter to Undead, and very cheesy. So I'm like, and he has Dota Micro, so he's not going to mess up his freaking Paladin or his Blood Mage. So I'm most worried about Sing Sing in the event, 100%. Yeah, he's good at everything, right? Like, I'm pretty okay at Warcraft 3. I would say, like, I'm a contender for the finals, but no. So how it works is you start at 1,500 ELO, right? And then it matches you against people who are, like, around that rank. So most people who are new to Warcraft will tank badly and then climb back up. But he's literally winning against those people that is supposed to test your ELO. So, yeah. I think Sing Sing's the biggest threat now. Yeah. 100%. But like everyone's a threat too. Like I could lose games to any of those players. Like if they in the next week or two, any of those players. Like I think they're all capable of beating me. That's the thing. Like I think all of those people are capable of beating me, as I am of them. You know, there's no slouches in this event. Like everybody is a sweaty RTS background. That's what's so good about the event. It's gonna like most of the games are gonna be very good. Oh my God! Please give me Nurgle. Would I stream StarCraft 1? Hell yeah, I would. I actually thought about hitting up Tasteless after the event and doing like a StarCraft 1 stream or something. Yeah, dude, I think Tommy could win the whole event. Like straight up, Tommy is a beast. I think Tommy could win the whole event, 100%. 100%. Yeah, Aries saying 99% of people lose their first like 10 games. Yeah, exactly. But he is winning his placement matches. Which means he's going to be like a legit 1,500 ELO player probably. Maybe 14, 15, which is nuts. Yeah. I think in my placement matches, I went like 2 and 5. Or I won 2 and like lost 3 maybe. And then lost a bunch after that too. It all depends on time investment and effective practice. That's right. Oh, yeah. Did Grubby announce the format for his tournament? Did I just miss that shit? Did he actually say what the format's going to be? Personally, I think the format I would like to see would be a Swiss tournament. So you get 2 groups of 4. But what he's waiting to see how the MMRs of people land. That's interesting though, because how's that going to work? Is he going to give a disadvantage to the higher elo people? Or I think I know what he might do. I think hey Dakota, welcome. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. He might do the 2 highest elo players on opposite brackets or opposite groups, because that guarantees you a good high quality finals. If you put the 2 best players in the same group or the same bracket, then it's gonna make a bad finals. You need to put the best players on the opposite sides of the bracket. It's what I do for all my tournaments. Like in my grand final seeding in top 16 grand finals, I get the 2 highest elo players and guarantee them on the opposite sides of the bracket. Yeah. But what I think would be cool, Swiss is a really good format because it's not as feels bad. You get put in a Swiss group. Grubby did say he screwed up making the player pool unbalanced. Oh, he's talking about for this tournament? Yeah, I mean, I think with Sing Sing coming in, it's gonna be pretty savage. That guy's a beast from what I can tell. Hey, Dire Avenger, thanks for becoming a member. Yeah, greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. Yeah. So I would split the players into 2 groups of 4, and I would elo alternate between the 2 groups of 4. I would then on game day every player plays every other player in their pod. So then you get a guaranteed 3 games. Although best of 3 is really good too. You could actually do Swiss best of 3, but that takes a long time. That would be like an 8-hour stream. I don't know. Hey, right on, dude. I'm glad to hear that, Dire Avenger. I'm your painting stream, huh? What you said is what he did last time? Okay, yeah. You could also do a traditional bracket. A loser's bracket would be very fun because there's a hero arc to that, right? So if we do, we're waiting for this match to start. So we could do double elimination bracket, best of 3 would be pretty fun because it guarantees every single player 2 best of 3s. Okay. So it'd be something like this. So taking a look at this, you have the starting bracket. So everybody starts up top. Okay, and you advance through. But when you lose, you get sent to the pits. You get sent to the bottom bracket. So this is really cool because it's like a built-in redundancy against you just getting like cheesed. Like if you get cheesed in your games, it gives you like a round 2. And then you could advance to the like, how cool would it be? Like, for example, like let's say a really good player gets upset and loses in the first match. Okay. And then we get a loser's bracket and just this hero, his redemption arc, he climbs from the pits and comes to face the person who defeated him earlier. There's a lot of good flavor with that. There's a lot of good flavor, you know what I'm saying? I think the loser's bracket thing would be fun. Yeah, double elim's a great format because it feels really bad in single elimination to just get punched in the wiener in round 1 and be eliminated. Like maybe you weren't you weren't warmed up yet. You know, you were a little bit nervous. I think that would be a great format. Best of 3 double elim would probably be maybe the direction I would go. It is the most time consuming, but like, yeah, Grubby's not doing it all in one day. He's doing it's a 2-day event, so I think it would be fine. Double elim is standard in fighting games in Dota style. Akari Hero Arc, yeah, yes, he's coming. He is coming. Wow, holy shit, these guys are still doing their thing. Okay, we're still waiting on them. I'm getting pinged for something. I don't know what. Why are you pinging me? Okay, the Discord's pinging. Got it. Getting all these pings all over the place. It's anarchy. All right, I think we're good. Cool beans, man. If you watch some anime before the tourney, you'll unlock. No, it's not happening. What I need to do is like get up very early and wake up because I play like shit in the mornings. Like in the morning, I'm just awful. But at night, I'm pretty on point. Like in the afternoon and nighttime, I can be pretty good. So that's the biggest thing of it all. Dire Avenger, thank you, man. Are you painting some Dire Avengers, by the way? I have my hype songs that I listen to. I got my pump up songs. Gonna Fly Now from Rocky. That one's really good. The Rocky theme. Oh, it's a great one. It's a great pump up song. Guys, so we have Greenskins versus Nurgle. Now, my concern for this is that Tim is extremely practiced in this matchup, and I've never seen Oishi play Nurgle before. So I have beaten Tim's Greenskins with Nurgle, and then he beat me back in the second game. It's a matchup that's winnable for both sides. I would say slightly Greenskin favored, 55-45. Yeah. Yeah, I legit hope that Grubby has the tournament. Like, I would rather him have it at like midnight my time, so I could just play then and be like hyper awake, you know. But it's probably going to be European time standard. Obviously, that's where he lives. So I'll probably have to play at like 9 a.m. So I need to get up at like 6, like really get woken up, man. Yeah. Oh, I got my pump jams. I got my pump up music. Saltine says, I run the biggest Street Fighter 6 tournaments in Europe. Hell yeah, dude. That's cool. I would play fighting games, but my hands are too crippled to play them, so. Yeah, but those are, working a controller is too much for me. How's the Zechian Redemption arc? I'm not playing today, but we have a freaking Nurgle versus Greenskin match. Sometimes, against you, you can warn him. All right. So Tim is just saying Oishi's taking a long time. So normally you put like a timer on people when they're building armies, but no, caffeine makes my hands hurt. It doesn't sit well with me. Yeah, it makes me shaky and I'm like a little bit too spastic. Yeah. Papa Roach, dude. Yeah, Papa Roach is the Crypt Lord is my favorite character in Warcraft 3. With a close second of using the Death Knight. Those are my two favorite characters, 100%. Getting strong. Last time it was 5 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, Eastern time. No shit. So 2 p.m. my time. Oh hell yeah! If Grubby does 2 p.m. start time for the Invitational, I'm good. I am good to go. That is like my peak time. Yeah, that's money. Because I could sleep until 11, take it easy, get going. Yeah, because I'm a night owl. I stay up till like 3, 4 a.m. with my lovely wife, and we stay up late. We're creatures of the night. I love the Dreadlord, but I've kind of fallen out of love with him a little bit because the Dreadlord is. I've been losing a lot with him, so I have moved away from the Dreadlord. But the Pit Lord, the Beetle has the coolest voice lines. He's like, "My might cannot be matched." What makes you like undead? So when I was a kid, I started playing Warcraft with Reign of Chaos and Frozen Throne. As a stupid teenager, 12-year-old, whatever, and I really just liked the undead aesthetic and like the Death Knight. Like, you know how when you're like young, you just think those big clunky like armored characters are cool. So that was me. I was like, yeah, I love it. So me and my homie in high school, Paul, we started playing 2v2s. So that's my background, is playing mostly 2v2, just casually with my homies, with Paul and Prof Pone and stuff. So yeah, I like the aesthetic of the undead. Yeah. We have a guy in our events who's another one. Oh, that's great. Yeah, anything's possible, Saltmine. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, welcome to the semifinals of today's event. Nurgle, has he been following my build guide? Let's see. No. Excuse me. This is about as far from my build guide as you can get. Not a Soul Grinder in sight. Rather, he's got Chaos Warriors, Chosen, so very elite Giga Chad infantry in the middle. And we do have a Soul Grinder of Nurgle. Not Soul Grinder, excuse me. Chaos Sorcerer Lord on a freaking shrine. I don't know what the hell this build is. If I was a wagering man, I would say this is not going to work. But here's the thing. If you can force a blob fight on objective 1 and just hold this safely and just get the healing engine going, maybe? I don't know, man. Yeah, he has to get the Turin stamp of approval. That's right. So we do have the Goblin Great Shaman. The Goblin Great Shaman is a nice anti-large lord. I mean, how is Nurgle going to deal with the Goblin? The Goblin on the Spider is going to beat the brakes off that shrine, Aside from that, we do have Orc Boys. We got some Archers. And Tim, yeah, he really bullies you with the Trolls. Trolls are very good against Nurgle because they can smash up the infantry. But yeah, look at these gremlins. They kind of look like Wookiee a little bit, Like very hunched over and short legs with like a bit of a pot belly. Yeah, definitely some vibes there. My doodad says, between Warhammer and Warcraft 3 or my new entertainment, why watch movies when I can watch Turin stream? Thank you, man. My wife and I are enjoying the streams. Well, shout out to you and your wife. And we will keep the good times rolling with you. So the Troll Toll is on its way. Here they come. Moving on up are the River Trolls. They are stinky. And what's cool about River Trolls is they give Nurgle a taste of their own medicine. They do have the Overwhelming Odor, which actually should be a buff for Nurgle. If anything, that should give Nurgle infantry like more stats. But we don't ask questions. This game, no, not everything makes sense. Chosen are probably my top 3 favorite units in the game. I love Chosen. I think elite armored infantry are just the coolest thing ever. And the fact that Chosen are actually viable. Okay, so we do get a Vindictive Glare activated, and he's going to be shooting into the Chaos Warriors. A bit of a misplay by Tim, because he should have shot the Chosen. But, he probably... This is my favorite thing. The Sleeper Chosen here, guys... Oh, it's so good because like they blend in with the Chaos Warriors so well. And if you're lazy about checking, dude, the Chosen can really, really sneak up on you. Hey, Saltmine League, thanks for becoming a channel member. Greatly appreciate all the support on both Twitch and YouTube. Thank you guys so much. We got 2 new channel members today and a bunch of new Twitch subscribers. Thank you guys for your support. All right, the battle is on. The legions of the Plague God have advanced up on the point. They got their shields out. Greenskins do have okay archers. It's more of a volume fire thing. But will Tim relinquish this objective? So the capture weight is going to start flipping here. We do see it going to the forces of Nurgle. And Nurgle is going to be presenting, for anybody who's newer, 5, 10, 15, and 20 capture weight. And in order to apply your capture weight to an objective, you only need to have 1 model in the entire unit touching anywhere on the square. You can see that little square that pops up. That is how you do it. All right, you guys ready to pump the jams? Listen to some 90s music? Here we go. All right, pump the jams are coming in, and we do see these guys here. Oh, the big old pump wagons getting the job done, running over some of the Chosen and then retreating before they can retaliate. Beautiful play. Frolickers Bubonic being targeted by the archers, so the archers have zeroed in on the Nurgle demons who have less armor than the warriors. And now the Warshine's going to be getting in. So the Warshrine is basically charging up. The way the Warshrine works is if units die near it, it builds up its charge, the giver of abundant glory, which it doesn't have any charges yet because no units have died near it, but it's trying its best. So Nurgle with, oh my god, okay, he's trolling me, guys. He's trolling me. He's using freaking rotflies. Another rotfly? There is no way. Okay. Now, I'm like a little nervous he's going to win with rotflies and make me look bad. Because if he beats Tim the Wilder, one of the best players in the entire game, or own goal, as he goes by now, with freaking rotflies, I am going to be so dejected in terms of my opinions. Oh my god. Okay, so rotflies are coming in. They're stuffing up the pump wagons, which is actually pretty good. And he's keeping it near the shrine. So keeping the rotflies near the shrine is pretty good. It is going to give them constant healing, which isn't bad. But now they have been engaged upon by the Orc Warboy Biggins. So looking at the value trading, it is going to be favoring greenskins. Archers are teeing off, and the spider, a bit of a weird blunder from Tim. This is very blunderous. He needs to get the spider over here and have it attacking the shrine. Like, having the spider fight infantry is really not smart. It's not good against infantry. It's really good against big monsters. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange call. But the rotflies are being worn down here. They have gotten how much value so far? Let's go ahead and zoom in and check. Sitting at 500 value, which isn't bad, actually. Not bad at all. On the other side, Nurgle attempting to push up, which is a little bit risky, but with the rotflies, they're actually kind of keeping some of the mass in check to an extent. But these are Marauders, and these are Chaos Warriors, and then these are Marauders as well. And now we get another Plague Drone coming out. Okay, Plague Drones are the expensive version. So we have the... Oh, they're all Plague Drones. They're not Rotflies. Okay, Plague Drones are a little bit better. Yeah, they have good stats. 105 weapon strength, too, against some of the Snotling Pump Wagons. Not terrible. Okay, guys, is Tim being pushed back? Have we, leave it to the Korean players to innovate with, like, the craziest builds, right? It's kind of like that in a lot of RTS games. You see crazy innovation in RTS from the Korean communities. I mean, they are just such skilled RTS gamers. And Oishi, of course, is being pretty much one of our only competitive Korean players playing nowadays. I'm not surprised. If this works, then I am going to be so perplexed. If it works, I'm taking notes, straight up. Tim is up in value. But Nurgle does have a lot of healing. Looking over here, we do have a bit of a big hairy skirmish. And the Rotflies here are being worn down by the boys as well as the trolls. So it looks like one unit of them is going to be disintegrating right there. And aside from that, it's a messy fight in the middle. Nurgle's Shrine is how charged up. It currently is giving very mediocre healing right now, but it is building up and eventually will be stronger. Sitting on the objective here, objective 2, we do have objective 1. This is the contested objective, by the way, that you have to fight over. Each player kind of has their safe home objective here and here, but it still belongs to Nurgle, and it looks like Nurgle is going to be reinforcing. So here they come. So the Marauders are going to be on their way over here. So here they come with old Chaos Furies flying overhead as well. So there they go. While over on objective 3, it looks like Nurgle is making a pretty hard press for the home objective of the Greenskins, which I personally feel this is a mistake as somebody who mains Nurgle and plays them competitively. Pushing into Greenskin territory allows them to reinforce very quickly. But I don't know, maybe the Warrior Wall and the healing that you're seeing here, we do see Fecundity activated, is going to get the job done. Rotflies have gotten overhead, and he's using the Rotflies to go after the Savage Orc Boar Boys and most of the cab units. Will the Greenskins break here, and will Nurgle be able to get through? Their warriors are very close. Trolls are pounding them. We do see the Greenskins are a bit resurgent, so they are going to be moving on up. So we get Trolls and the Spider. I think Nurgle's going to get forced off this. I think Oishi made... I'm starting to see some signs that, maybe he isn't the most practiced Nurgle player, but maybe he'll still get it. I don't know. Just because he's so good. Like, overextending into a triple cap with Nurgle is kind of a death sentence. You only do that if you're desperate and you need to triple cap your opponent. Like, playing and hunkering down on this objective and forcing blobs while defending your back objective, in my opinion, is the more optimal way to play this matchup. But again, just my 2 cents. Nurgle is threatening the back point. There is some forbidden tech here. The Nurgle Shrine, of course, does have constant healing. So it is healing 0.4 nonstop on these Chosen and these Chaos Warriors. So maybe they're going to be able to do something. I don't know. And Nurgle is getting a little bit of ground here as well. Actually, the River Troll is getting broken up by the Rotflies as well as the Chaos Warriors and the Plague Drones. Yeah, we're going to see. Nurgle is going to be losing the side objective, though. So in pushing to the home point of the forces of the Greenskins, he does relinquish this objective 1, which is risky, because that was like guaranteed points here. He had it. It would be easier to hold, but rather he overextends into Tim's line and plays into his strengths. There are times to push into your opponent's spawn in certain army comps that are designed to do it. But I don't know if that's going to be the case here. But I'm very impressed with the tech. The fact that he's keeping the game close versus Tim is very impressive. Oishi is currently sitting at 693 points, Tim at 416. The problem is that own goal is going to be winning on even on just 2 points. Like, you know, he could just sit here and play defensively the rest of the game. Nurgle's probably going to be swept up here. We do see the Chaos Furies coming in, rear charging, and yeah, we get some Boar Boys moving in to slam jam and space jam into the front of these guys as well. So my confidence in Plague Drone sucking is still, it's a little shaken, but they didn't look great. They looked okay. I wouldn't be surprised if none of the Plague Drones paid for themselves. I wouldn't be surprised. But it was a cool tech. It was interesting. I mean, maybe there's something there. Angels of Decay would have been very good. If Oishi called in Angels of Decay and sniped the Greenskin Lord with like Rancid Visitations, I think that's a stronger tech. You know, going for a Lord sniping build against Greenskins is pretty S tier because they have low leadership, so losing them is rough. But the WOG is getting going, and they're going to be crunching the metal plates. The pump wagon's going through, getting nice and dirty, and having some good old fun here. So, ladies and gentlemen, the battle continues to rage on, and we do have the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle doing it to it, and overall, I think that is going to be probably it. The Chaos Sorcerer Lord is going to get bullied by the Goblin Great Shaman, and yeah, that's going to be it. Greenskins have won the battle. Oishi is basically tabled. If you guys have ever played tabletop, you know when you table someone, you really know it's over. Just screw the objectives, right? It's like, at this point, he loses his Lord. The Rotflies here are going to die. The Greenskins have objective 1, and that's it. Tim going to the Grand Finals. All right. My ego is intact. I was right about Rotflies, I'm pretty sure. Oishi's build was cool, but not the most effective. Like, the opening build was good. Like, the infantry pressure with the healing is good, but, like, the reinforcements... Yeah, let's see. Okay, we got 1,000 value on one, 400 on the other one, and the other one got 400 value. Okay. Yeah, I love the experiment, man. That's what's so cool about watching high-level players, like, try shit out. But the Rotflies did okay. Like, one of them did okay. Maybe one is a utility piece, maybe. I don't hate it. Yeah, that was a really fun match, though. Shout out to our boy Oishi for experimenting. Not a lot of people would do that in a semifinal and take a risk like that, but he's an absolute Chad, so you gotta love it. All right, so finals. So we're going to set up the finals lobby, and it's going to be Tim the Wilder, one of the goats of Warhammer 3, in my opinion. Okay, there you go. Finals. So who's that quarterback that was like one of the all-time greats, but they never won the Super Bowl? It's what's his name, right? Oh God, the Dolphins guy. Oh, or like won one Super Bowl. Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay. Well, aside from the implications, I mean, Brett Favre obviously has been involved in controversy, but yeah, there's Dan Marino, but also Brett Favre. But like Brett Favre was a little bit of a gunslinger. Tim is more like plays it close to the chest. So Brett Favre won one Super Bowl and then like, you know, was considered an all-time great. Yeah. So Tim is kind of like the Brett Favre of our community a little bit. Like one of the all-time GOATs, but he won one major event. It's not like he was winning like 5 Super Bowls. Granted, I think Tim has a great chance of winning an upcoming Super Bowl. He's going to be in the season finals, and Tim is so good. He's always a threat to win these big events. Yeah, Dan Marino is the Dolphins QB. That's what I thought. Oishi loses a fair amount, but he's very good. He doesn't lose often. He's got like a 70 or 80%. I think Oishi has an 80% win rate in tournaments. What's cool is in our community, in old Warham, we can track that. So we can look at the stats of the players. You can look at their match history and all that goodness. Professor Pone is Tom Brady, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so let's go here. Yeah, Oishi is the number 1 ranked player right now and has... let me see. Oishi has a 77% win rate. Yeah. Pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. He's got 147 wins and 43 losses. That's so good. Yeah, here's our leaderboard as well. Oh, I'm still there. I'm still on the leaderboard. Still got it. Oh, I have 69% win rate. I'm not playing another game this season. Let's go. Let's frickin' go. Yeah. 80% in tournaments is pretty good. That's pretty nuts. Jim Kelly, 4 straight Super Bowls and lost them all. God, imagine that. Imagine the effect that would have on your psyche. Losing 5 Super Bowls in a row, you said? Oh, my God. Yeah, perfect score. I'm done. I'm retiring from Total War Competitive, guys. You heard it here first. Okay, so who's going to win on the other side? I need to check. Well, let's see what's cooking. Pone doesn't know when to quit and moves to Florida. All right, we got Maximillionaire on the other side. Yes. Can you put in Hashit's Oil Fields is the map? Okay. Hashit's Oil Fields, a huge open map. Okay. So chatting with Tim, getting them all squared away. Maximillionaire has been competing and doing very well in our tournaments recently. Could be a mysterious person. We don't know. Could be a dreaded Smurf. Who knows? Who knows? Probably not though. And it is going to be Tim versus Maximillionaire in the grand finals. Vampire counts could make their way in. It could happen. And yeah, it's go time, man. How's life treating you guys, by the way? You guys doing good? Big news: famous RTS player and caster Turin retires after achieving 69% win-loss on tournaments. Yes, it's the truly endgame tech. Okay, cool. Yeah, man, we're cooking. Yeah, feeling for sure. Yeah, it's all good for now. Whatever. You know, we're chilling. We're chilling. So what's the matchup going to be? This is going to be pretty sweaty. I played against Max in a tournament about a week ago. It was a very good game. Maybe 2 weeks ago. Some sweaty matches were had. And yeah, let's see what's cooking. What's the matchup going to be? We know Tim has greenskins. They've been playing greenskins pretty much perpetually over the course of the tournament. Yeah, the WOG has been going strong for Tim. Max was a vampire player, but clearly, didn't we see Max lose in round one? He must have gone 3-1. Yeah, because Max lost the Wood Elf Bretonia match versus Attack Speed Enjoyer, but he must have won all his games after that and found a way to qualify. Yeah. A great unclean one inflatable costume. That'd be interesting. Elves are pretty good. Elves are solid. I mean, they're harder to play, but Wood Elves are very competitive. Dark Elves, not so much. Dark Elves are kind of in the dregs. They're very difficult to play and hard to win with. Yeah. Hey, Bills fan here. You can say what you want about Super Bowl losses. We have Josh Allen the most. I don't know who that is. I haven't followed NFL in many years. When I was in college, I was pretty into it, and then I kind of gave up on it afterwards and just started watching mixed martial arts. But yeah, I used to love it in high school. I used to love my favorite team to watch back in the day was the Baltimore Ravens. In the early 2000s, like seeing like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, that like defense of the Baltimore Ravens was so fun to watch in its prime. Like watching them go to battle with like LaDainian Tomlinson and all those like early 2000s like running backs. Oh yeah, yeah. I used to love watching early 2000s Baltimore Raven games. Yeah, Jerome Bettis was really fun on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was like my time. That era was when I used to watch a lot. No, I don't follow. The only sport I follow nowadays is MMA, mixed martial arts. Yeah, I don't follow like team sports anymore. Really, I don't like as I got older, I stopped appreciating the mercenary element of team sports. Like how, like a team like the Yankees, which is a team I grew up watching with my dad because he's from New York. We used to watch them. When I got older and realized how, a lot of it's pay to win, I was just like, I mean, the same goes in an MMA. It's kind of like, there isn't really a pay to win element, right? It's just that guy versus that guy, You can't like buy the best. I mean, you can hire better trainers and shit, but it's not as much of a thing. Yeah. UFC 13, Volk versus Lopez. I know, I'm very nervous for Volk. Volk is coming off. He's had some hard losses, and he is getting older, but I'm a big Volkanovski fan. I really like him. His fight versus Islam Makhachev was insane. That was a great fight. Yeah. But yeah, the mercenary element of professional sports is like you could if you put enough money in front of these guys, they'll change their hat and their allegiances in a second. And I like when team sports represent something. Like I like when they represent a city. The athletes represent that city. They care about it. They're passionate about it. But now it's just kind of like it's too mercenary for me. It's still fun to watch though, because you're the most athletic people in the world, right? Like that element is very fun. But we got Vampire Counts versus Beastman. Okay, this is going to be very sweaty. Rift at the World's Edge is the map. Okay. Rift at the World's Edge. So it begins. The greatest battle of our time. Boxing is fun to watch. You know, see, that's the same thing with boxing. It's like, I mean, boxing does have a lot of really questionable decisions. Holy shit. We're getting into boxing. Yeah, boxing has a lot of questionable decisions. So does MMA, though. Yeah. So boxing is, I feel like the boxing structure is kind of weird. Like, you can criticize boxing's like title structure. It's very weird and like, but on that same note, like MMA is kind of a joke too in some ways. Like, especially in the UFC, right? Like, you have some guy, you have freaking John Jones in the UFC, literally holding up the heavyweight title for like 2 years, refusing to fight people. And just because he's in good graces with the UFC, he gets an extension. He could just sit there and camp the heavyweight title and waste people's primes and shit. And like jam up whole divisions. That bullshit in the UFC needs to go away. Like, that shit sucks. If a champion is not willing to fight, you know, like for like what, 2 years, they should not be allowed to sit on that. That's just jamming up the division. They should have to relinquish that belt. There should be a set time frame when it happens. You know, you can maybe make special exceptions for like an injury if both parties agree or something, but like in general, it's just absolute bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, vampires are cooler. The vampires versus the... Oh, they're both ready. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, and then you get like John Jones like being like, you know, why should I fight Tom Aspinall? He's younger and dangerous. Dude, Daniel Cormier was like almost 40, and he fought a young prime John Jones, like an absolute Chad. And sure, he took those losses on the chin, but like at least he was like, that's how greatness is made, you know? Like, yeah. Anyways, I mean, relinquish it or fight the guy, you know? All right. Yeah, I'm a big Daniel Cormier fan. I like his fighting style. The fact that he just like doesn't, you know, he's kind of heavy and doesn't like that dirty boxing wrestling style. I actually really enjoyed watching that. All right, guys. Enough of my boomer rants. You guys got me. You guys got me going. The Turin boomer rants are strong. And let's do it. Didn't know that about the UFC. Well, it's a case-to-case basis. Eventually, the UFC will strip the belts from some people if they're not like popular. But with like John Jones is arguably one of the top 3, if not like GOAT of mixed martial arts. So he's getting a lot of special treatment from the UFC. And he's being very like contentious with like getting into the fight. From one side, I understand where he's coming from because the UFC is notorious for underpaying its champions. So like he's trying to hold out for a better deal, but he's also like, I feel like in his case, it's more he's just wasting the prime of his opponent vindictively. It kind of feels that way. Dude, I would love to do commentary for fighting or like any of that kind of stuff. I think it'd be really fun. Although then we'd have to like live in Vegas. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Although I don't have anything against Vegas, it's just the extreme hot summers would melt my wife and I. Like that would not be fun. Yeah, but you know I've been there before. It's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the grand finals. Let's go ahead and get it. And no, actually not. My favorite commentator is Anik. Yeah, I actually like when some of the fighters commentate too. But John Anik is my favorite. Of the commentary crew. I think he's the best. Yeah. All right. So looking at the build here of Tim the Wilder and the Beastmen, he's got a very interesting checkerboard formation of, you can see archers with Korngors mixed in. And we do also have Centaurs with throwing axes. Great utility because Centaurs with throwing axes can rear charge zombies and skeletons and kill them, and also use their throwing weapons to punish the big threats like crypt horrors and corpse guards and all that kind of good stuff. So, where's Tim's Lord? Oh, we got a freaking Doom Bull. Oh my god, a Doom Bull's coming out? All right, so check that shit out. Yeah, the Doom Bull is going to be fun. He does, of course, have Slaughterer's Call and is ready to party. And that is where it's at. Yeah, if I'm going to be enduring heat, it's going to be dry heat. Screw humid heat. Oh, yeah. Humidity is rough, dude. So, looking at the build here of Maximillionaire, one of our Vampire Count mains here, he does have a battle line of skeletons and Corpse Cart. So if you guys are a little bit newer, the Corpse Cart is going to buff all nearby units. So it gives an aura, a healing aura, as well as a stat line aura with Vigor Replenishment. Very, very good. One of the best units on the roster, honestly. And on the other side, you do have Skeleton Spearman, Graveguard, and a Corpse Cart with the Unholy Lodestone. So that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. With a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, it's going to be his Flying Lord, and Gaze of Nagash. Maximilianaire loves cheesing people's lords. Like, using Gaze of Nagash to just blast people's lords is very, very strong. In the meantime, we do see the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord attacking into the Centaurs. It does kill a handful of them, actually. Looks like 4 Centaurs do fall, but is it worth it? Probably not. Maximilianaire loses like 30% of their HP for that. That was not worth a single shred of that trade. Now, vampires do have crazy healing. They are going to be able to get some fat, dank heals and get that going, right? The bread will be buttered, but losing that much HP out of the gates is really not good. Now, Maximilianaire is actually going to be pushing on a couple fronts, but Tim already has all the objectives. He's got objective 3, he's got objective 2, so Tim is happy with the status quo. And it looks like, oh my god, no, Tim, get that back objective. What are you doing? That's like a win and loss difference right there. Go get that shit. All right, Scab's Graith activated. So the vampire is using the White King's magical sword to blast the Ungor Raiders right there, forcing them back. And we do see the Korngors waiting, and the Ungabunga Raiders going to be retreating. Tim, get the objective. Tim, get the objective. No, don't do this to me. I hate seeing that. Oh, God. Another Scab's Graith activated on the Ungor Raiders. And Tim's army is going to be forced to retreat here. Under the pressure of the Vampiric Dragon, which is probably going to be dropping a zombie summon here. We do see the dragon sitting overhead. And yeah, zombie summon, so undead. This is one of the coolest things they can do. They can summon zombies on top of your archers, and that's going to shut them down and target them, which is very, very good. So we do see those guys getting surrounded a little bit. On the outside, Korngors grinding and Centaurs with throwing axes doing a little bit of harrying. But Tim is going to be relinquishing the objective. Oh, God. If he had that objective, he would be like so much further ahead on points right now. Tim has done this a couple times. Yeah. Oh, my God, get that objective for the love of the gods. Tim is a player who plays from outer space, too, so he doesn't always notice little things like that. Dude, he needs to get that objective. All right, so Gores are grinding with zombies. We do get the big bull over and some Minotaurs with great weapons. So that's a lot of stopping power. Minotaurs do have excellent armor piercing with their great weapons and can fight the dragon if need be. Probably going to be able to crumble some of the zombies and skeletons here, most likely. Graveguard will take longer, though, that is for sure. So Ungor archers are retreating. Some of them are forming the ranks and going to be trying to shoot at the zombie lord here. Middle objective does go to the vampire count, so we do see the middle objective secured by the children of the night. The beastmen have retreated, so they pulled back here, didn't want to fight the full bulk of this vampiric army, rather using their mobility. Okay, finally Tim's going to be doing it. Oh, I love it. Okay, he's doing it. He's grabbing the objective. Tim has learned. But yeah, the beastmen using their mobility, rotating away from this very strong pocket of vampires and starting to pressure this main bulk, or the secondary army here for the vampire counts. Korngors being absolute Giga Chads, very tough to get. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord going to be lining up a breath attack. I suspect he's going to come here and maybe drop a breath right there. We'll have to see. Although not super necessary. I think that the Korngors are going to be worn down. While the beastmen have a double cap and the vampires only have one objective, but they continue fighting. And here it goes. Yeah, Doombull getting in with his brass knuckle boxing, super badass. He's going to be punching. Oh, dude, he just punched that thing in the face. Awesome. Smashing a bunch of the Graveguard. Breath attack coming in from the Vampire Dragon. And beautiful, beautiful. The breath attack roasting the Ungor Raiders right there. So the Ungabunga Raiders going to be fleeing the scene and looking around. We do see objective number 3 continues to be in the clutches of the Beastmen. So Beastmen sitting pretty good. Vampires calling in some doggies, so the dogs do get around the outside, and they compromise the Ungabunga Raiders. But they're immediately met by the stern resistance of the Minotaurs. So the Minotaurs should be able to take these guys to Pound Town. So they're getting in there. They're doing their thing, looking pretty good, and should be able to crumble the dogs. So you guys might be wondering if you're newer. Undead do not run in this game. They're unbreakable. But what happens is when undead leadership goes below 0, they start disintegrating and taking damage over time. So that's how that's balanced in this game. Vampires getting a little sneak over here. They're going to be grabbing objective number 1. So I like that. Calling out some doggies to try and get this. If Tim is paying attention, he should call out maybe an infantry unit, like a Vanguard Gore Herd to get there. Or he could use the Centaurs to charge them. Granted, Dire Pack might actually put up a fight. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see here. So moving in, Centaurs with throwing axes are coming for blood, and it looks like the Vampire Count player doesn't notice this, and he lets his dogs get charged. So that's going to be giving the Centaurs a big advantage. Charge bonus is a huge variable in this game, especially on these guys. They have a charge bonus of 33. So yeah, victory there for the Centaurs. They're going to be crumbling the vampiric attempt on that outside objective, which is beautiful. And Tim continuing to value trade very well. I think the vampires are in a precarious position. It looks like Tim the Wilder is probably winning. The Vampire Lord took a lot of damage there, probably landed on the ground, tried to fight the Minotaurs. And now the Giga Chad Doom Bull is going to be punching this Corpse Cart in the face with his Minotaur homies. So they're going to be taking this thing to Pound Town. So there they go. And yep, down it goes. Killing the Corpse Cart of the Vampire Counts is really big. That's going to be shutting down their mobile buff station. So very, very clean stuff right there. And looking around, we do see the old Minotaurs with great weapons looking pretty healthy. And how's the outside objective pressure going? Are the vampires doing anything here? No. And as a matter of fact, Tim actually calls in a Gore Herd unit. So he calls in some baseline infantry and is just going to be camping them on this objective to make sure he doesn't get ninja'd. Because that's a really easy win con for Tim. You know, if he just sits back here with the infantry unit that dissuades the vampires and just wins the blob fight here, you know, he's in pretty good shape. Vampire Lord lands on the ground, does get a break onto the Corngores, using the Helm of Discord to lower their stat line. Centaurs with throwing axes cackling nearby, fresh Corngores, as well as the Minotaurs with great weapons, definitely looking very favored for old Tim. Tim does have Traderkin. He's been using it nonstop to nuke the Vampire Lord. If you guys are wondering why the Vampire is taking damage, it's because the throwing axes are following him around. We do have these guys, and they throw armor-piercing axes. And on top of that, the Traderkin caster here is dropping it like it's hot on the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. So the battle is on, ladies and gentlemen. Objective number 3 is here, and we do see that going down. Objective 2, it is going to be the Gore Herds holding this one down. A couple spears coming in. It looks like Tim could threaten a triple cap here, although strangely enough, he did abandon the backside objective, and we do see some doggies coming in. So direwolves are making their way over, and they're going to be jumping over on objective 1. So Tim will probably just respond with a fast unit, shut that shit down. He's also threatening the middle objective, although vampires are getting a lot of momentum here, actually. They do have the capture weight. Oh, it's because the Graveguard arrived. So we did get the elite Graveguard punching their way in. And, you know, here's the thing. A lot of Tim's value he's had this game has been used on sniping the Blood Dragon Lord. So he's maybe a little bit lacking in actually killing his opponent's army. Blood Dragon Lord, 1300 HP, weak binding. Tim is going to be calling in what appears to be some Centaurs to push the dogs off that point, and he is going to be rotating to the middle. So now that Tim has lost this point over here to the Vampire Army, the really grindy vampiric forces, he's going to want to rotate over to the middle. Rotate to the middle, start to play Objective 1 and play Objective 2. You know, play to your strengths. The fact that the Beastmen are much more mobile certainly is going to be helping him quite a bit. But the Children of the Night going to be swarming towards the middle objective, and we do see the Centaurs hanging out here as well as the Ungor Spearman herds. Nice charge out there. Centaurs with throwing axes getting a beautiful charge into the Direwolves once again. But the Direwolves will give it back a little bit. They're going to put up a little fight right there. So they get in there, and the doggies are crumbling down. Obviously, Beastmen have a pretty good mobile game, so they can win a lot of those mobile fights. But are the Beastmen going to be able to handle the rotate? It's a lot of pressure coming over, right? We got all these Cryptors, which are just nasty, disgusting fighters, mixed in with the Graveguard and the White Kings maybe going to make their way over as well. Tim stabilizes his outside objective. You do get some Crypt Ghouls coming in from the Vampire Counts over on the backside there. Those guys going to be moving in while the Unga Bunga Spearman herds stand at the ready. There is another Vampiric Corpse Guard here, so we did have 2 of them. And the problem with this Corpse Guard is it's going to be buffing the hell out of all these Cryptors. They're going to be very, very strong here. They're going to get passive regeneration, be very tough to fold up. Beastmen able to get a flank charge. Centaurs getting around the side into the Cryptors. Oh, beautiful maneuver. Tim sees an opening, sees the flank exposed to the Cryptors, and now they're going to be getting attacked in the back and taking a lot of damage, potentially leading to their crumbling. It's hard to say. But the Dragon coming in, this is a risky play from Maximillionaire. He's going to get blasted by a Traderkin from the Bray Shaman. So Traderkin going down, 1400 HP, negative 1300, 900 HP. He is looking really rough right now. If the Vampire Lord dies, that's probably going to be GG. And the Doom Bull punching the Vampiric Lord in the face, and down goes the Vampire Lord. That is probably a throw there. The game is very close, but losing that Vampire Lord probably going to be a little bit too much. Tim able to take down the Vampire Lord, punching that bad boy in the face, and he needs to make sure he doesn't lose his outside objective. You know, that's one way the Vampires could weasel back in the game, is playing the objectives well, but I think that is going to be all she wrote, most likely. I could be wrong, but yeah, Tim's not noticing his outside objectives in a little bit of danger. But is he going to find a way to get this objective? Nope, there's still skeletons and ghouls kind of holding that point over there. Beastmen, big crumbling going down. So the negative 16 leadership penalty on all these guys is just going to be chef's kiss. That's just so good. And a lot of them are going to be paying the troll toll right now and starting to crumble down here. So that is probably going to be it. Yeah, what a manly, sweaty blob. It is indeed. So Centaur is maneuvering over, but the Crypt Ghouls are not terrible fighters, and it looks like the Vampires do manage to capture the outside objective there. So the little gremlins are able to get it done. We do see some of the Centaurs getting worn down here as the creepy golems continue clawing through these bad boys, but we will see how this goes. Moving across, Centaurs with throwing axes are on their way in. And middle objective actually going to the Vampire Zerg. Okay, can the leaderless Vampire army win this? Oh boy, this is close. As it currently stands, Tim does win on 1 point, but like barely. And if the Vampires even get this point for a second, okay, holy shit, Tim could actually lose this game. This is getting really, really nasty here. And do we have the Butchers of Kalkengard? That's really what he needs. The 2 White Kings are very grindy, and a host of Vampires are on their way over. So Tim invested a lot in sniping the Lord. It certainly has paid off, but there's a lot of capture weight and a lot of undead that are on their way over. So those bad boys are going to be coming. The Cryptors are on their way. And it is going to get messy, messy, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to get crazy, crazy good. So Tim going to be restabilizing his outside objective, but the problem for Tim now is he's been triple capped for a moment. So what that means is he's not going to be able to actually win on just one objective anymore. Tim is going to have to find a way to get another objective to win this game. That is not going to be easy. So moving across are the Ungabunga Spearman herds. Tim is going to be reclaiming the outside objective, but also on that same coin, like even though he doesn't win on just one objective, he's very far ahead in points. So he has a long time to play with his opponent here. He has a long, long time to grind and get this going. So yeah, the undead hordes are, they're no joke. They are no joke. Crypt ghouls get crumbled down. Objective goes to Tim. And now Tim is going to be playing the top objective. He's got to play 2 objectives. He can't play just one. And he has a full health Gore Herd here. That's actually pretty good. The Gore Herd is going to bully these guys. And then the Centaurs can move on to the objective. Oh, and Ungor Raiders ambushing from the outside. Stock. That's really nice. That's really, really nice. So the Ungabunga Raiders going to be popping it like it's hot. They're moving up towards the objective, heading towards the Skeleton Spearman. And I think Tim's going to be able to get this objective, most likely. Although Doggy's coming in really nice. What's the counterplay? Where are the Centaurs? Beautiful counterplay here by Maximillionaire. He gets the Direwolf ambush, counter ambush here. Shuts down the Ungabunga Raiders. And the fighting does indeed continue. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. So the battle rage is on. Tim maybe going to find a way to get that outside objective. But that counter ambush was God tier. And the undead hordes are pressing. The Sternsmen are one of the tankiest, hardest to kill units in the entire game. Incredibly tough to kill. And they're going to be heading up towards the objective here. So heading towards objective 1 to grab that bad boy, while the Doom Bull in the back is going to be doing it. So he's hanging out. Crypt horrors as well as zombies are moving up. We do see objective 1 starting to flip. Is Tim going to be able to do anything over here? He does get some Centaurs out to counterpunch the Direwolves. The Gore Herds are doing well, but they're a little bit outnumbered here. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold. They're sitting at 12 leadership right now, so very fickle. So Tim is going to have to grab that outside objective while also holding this one. It's going to be very, very close. We do have the Gore Herds fighting, but the 2 White Kings are going to bully them. Tim, realizing this is a lost point, he kind of is just playing whack-a-mole with the undead. As it currently stands, the scores are getting very, very close. We do see some Dire Pack coming in, and the Gore Herd are going to be maybe moving over to engage them as well. Centaurs are throwing axes, cleaning up the Direwolves. More spears coming out, more chaff units. But I think Maximillionaire might actually, despite losing his Lord, he's up in value. Max has been just doing more damage to the Beastman army. And like 3,000 to 4,000 of the value that Tim got is all tied up in the Vampire Lord. So not necessarily reflected in the true damage he's done to the Vampiric army, right? So that is something. So moving up are the Ungor Spearmen. And we do see the Gore Herds fighting it out here on the objective. But I think Max is just kind of taking over this game. I think it's GG. Like, the Beastmen just cannot handle that wave of the dead. The 2 White King characters are really, really just bumping and grinding it out. They're getting in there, they're grinding, and nothing's been able to really contest them. They just hear no bells. So Tim is going to fall behind on points soon. I mean, I think maybe he has a chance of getting this objective with the Gore Herds and all the spears and Centaurs running around and whatnot. But yeah, is it going to be enough? I don't think so. He's going to need 2. I think it's going to be 2. So moving across, we do see the Skeletons and the Ungors and Corngors coming. What sort of Gores are the best in the undead matchup? Probably the Corn Gore is the best bet. The fact they have anti-large really good against like Cryptors, different things like that. 10,000 HP for 100 golden zombies. Yeah, they're very cheap, but they have dog shit stats. They basically do nothing, and they're just a HP tar pit. So, objective's going to be flipping here. Tim is about to get past in points. He has a little bit of time to game it up. You can see he's doing some split pushing here. We got Corn Gores coming out on the outside, and he's still fighting over here. Maybe there's a chance for a Tim comeback, but now the capture weight is flipped to the vampire counts here as they get some golems over here. We got the gremlins. We have the Mountain Dew drinking gremlins. They've arrived. The power gamers, the WoW players, Magic card players. Yes. Well, no, Magic card players are Greases. So Crypt ghouls are here. Tim does have the capture weight advantage, but there's another ghoul coming in. So another ghoul is on its way, and will the Beastmen actually win this grind is the question. When the White Kings get there, I think they're going to start losing it. Tim going to get this point, and he really needs to win the outside here too. These Gores are doing great, crumbling down the skeletons. Zombies here are a little bit fickle as well. But here they go. Yeah, Corn Gore's moving on over. Maybe he's going to be able to get that other side. That's his only win con here, but he's been passed in points, ladies and gentlemen. Tim has been triple capped for a long ass time. Like, he's been in purgatory with the triple cap there. But is he going to get the outside point? The Vampires are threatening the capture weight here again. Very close match. Crypt Ghouls are on their way in. Oh man, this is a really, really close match, guys. Really close. Honestly, today is some of the best games we've had on the channel in a long time. Like, we've had so many close games here. You can see the Doom Bull able to stomp on that Crypt Troll right there. Is it going to be enough for Tim to get the capture weight? He does have a Corn Gore coming in. On the outside, he is starting to get this objective. So if Tim had won this objective earlier, if he had gotten it here, then maybe he has a chance. But the Vampires have just kind of locked him down here, man. They have done it. Very cool to see the Vampire counts defeating the Beastmen, though. Beastmen have always are considered the strongest faction of the game, probably. And seeing a mid-tier, kind of upper mid-tier faction of the Vampire counts beat them is very, very fun to see. So that is going to be it. GG, well played, most likely. Tim, he's out of here. He got one objective. He did manage to ninja this one on the other side with some Vanguard Corn Gores, but it's not going to be enough. He's got 20 seconds left in the game. Less than that, actually. He's only got 10 seconds. And yeah, GG, well played. Well played to Maximillionaire for the victory over Tim the Wilder. Dan Marino will be back, I'm sure. And that is going to be it for today. So you're saying your leadership is negative, and if your leadership is... Oh, you're actually just joking. Okay, you got it. So GG, well played. Great tournament today. Sweaty, sweaty games. Doom Bull was kind of cool. He's hard to snipe. I like that. And yeah, honestly, good builds from both players. A lot of it just came down to the engagements, man. That is basically it. So I want to thank you guys all for joining. That was super, super fun. I am very, very hungry, and I'm going to go grab some dinner. So no encore tonight. But if you guys enjoyed what you saw, please do drop a like on the old YouTube. I know you can't do that on Twitch. And I want to sincerely thank you guys all for joining on YouTube and Twitch. We got a lot of new subscribers today, some new channel members. I appreciate all of you guys. And hopefully you enjoyed. If it's your first look at Total War Warhammer, hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow with another training session, most likely. So we're going to have a training session there. And that is going to be it. GG, well played. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the matches. Nice to meet all of you new folks who've joined. And we will see you guys back tomorrow with a sweaty training session, which was going to be fun. GG, well played. Adios, and do widzenia.